countries that are taking so much of our money away from us on a daily basis. It's not going to happen anymore. We have the greatest business people right now in the world. They call me all the time. They want to be involved. We have political hacks negotiating our deals for billions and billions and billions of dollars. Not going to happen anymore. We're going to use the finest business people in the world. We are going to do something so good and so fast and so strong, and the world is going to respect us again. Believe me. We're going to. Do we love our country? Do we love our country?
You're listening to live coverage of the New Hampshire primary on 660 AM The Answer, really KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth.
Campaign. Everybody on both sides. And, you know, I was saying 2 weeks ago, I said, I don't think people really appreciate it because I see all of this money being poured into commercials, and it's not their money. It's special interest money. And this is on both sides. This is on the Republican side, the Democrat side. Money just pouring into commercials. These are special interests, folks. These are lobbyists. These are people that don't necessarily love our country. They don't have the best interests of our country at heart. We're not going to let it happen. We can't. We have to do something about it. When you see the kind of deals made in our country, a lot of those deals are made because the politicians aren't so stupid. They're making them for their benefit. We have to stop it. We have to stop it. We are now going to make it for your benefit. We're going to make the deals for the American people. That's the way it is. Now, Harry, oh, I love this. Look at you. Look at you. I love these signs. They're the most imaginative signs. So look, in a nutshell, we're going to make great trade deals. We're going to rebuild our military. It's going to be so big, so strong, so powerful. Nobody is going to mess with us. Believe me, nobody. We are going to take care of our vets. Where is Al? Where is Al? We love Al. All right, Al? Get up here if you can. We're going to take care of our vets. Our vets are treated horribly. They're our greatest people. Our vets are going to be taken care of, and you remember that, everybody. Right? We're going to have strong, incredible borders, and people are going to come into our country, but they're going to come into our country legally. They're going to come in legally. We're going to build a wall. It's going to be built. It's not even, believe it or not, it's not even a difficult thing to do. And by the way, for the people of New Hampshire, where you have a tremendous problem with heroin and drugs, you wouldn't even believe it. You see this place and you say it's so beautiful. You have a tremendous problem. The first thing always that they mention to me, Mr. Trump, please do something. The drugs, the heroin, it's pouring in, and it's so cheap because there's so much of it. And the kids are getting stuck, and other people are getting stuck. We're going to end it. We're going to end it. We're going to end it at the southern border. It's going to be over. And we're going to work really hard to get those people that are so addicted off the habit. We're going to work like hell to take care of the situation. It's a huge problem in New Hampshire. It's a huge problem all over our country. We're going to have borders again, and we're going to work with you people to help you solve that very big problem, and we'll get it done. It's so beautiful. What a group of people. You know, and on top of this group, we have thousands of people outside that can't even get in. That's what we have. Thousands of people. Healthcare. We're going to repeal and replace Obamacare. It is a total disaster. We're repealing and replacing Obamacare. It's gone. We're getting rid of Common Core. We're going to educate our children locally. We educate our children locally. We are going to preserve our very sacred Second Amendment. There's not going to be any more chipping away at our Second Amendment. If we had protection in California recently and so many other places, you could even look to Paris. Paris has the toughest gun laws in the world. France has the toughest gun laws in the world. These animals go in, they start shooting 1, 2, 3, 130 people, with many people horribly wounded right now in the hospital. If there were bullets going in the other direction, believe me, it would have been a whole different story, folks. But nobody had protection. I am going to be the greatest jobs president that God ever created. Remember that. Don't believe those phony numbers when you hear 4.9 and 5% unemployment. The number's probably 28, 29, as high as 35. In fact, I even heard recently 42%. Do you think we'd have gatherings like this if we had 5% unemployment? Do you really think we'd have these gatherings? Forgetting about security, forgetting about ISIS, which, by the way, we're going to knock the hell out of ISIS. We're going to knock the hell out of them. And it's going to be done the right way. So we're going to take care of the economy. We're going to take care of jobs. We're going to take care of all of the things that I said. Our border, everything, healthcare, it's going to be so great. Remember this about Obamacare. People are forgetting, but now they're miserable because it's going up 45%, 35%, 55%. It's totally out of control. Probably sinks of its own volition in 2017, unless the Republicans give it another. I mean, what's going on? What's going on? The budget, the last budget that was approved, is an absolute disaster for everybody in this country. We owe $19 trillion as of today. We just crossed the $19 trillion mark. We're going to very shortly be at $21 trillion because of the budget. We are going to make our country so strong. We are going to start winning again. We don't win anymore as a country. We don't win on trade. We don't win with the military. We can't beat ISIS. We don't win with anything. We are going to start winning again, and we're going to win so much. You are going to be so happy. We are going to make America so great again, maybe greater than ever before. I love you all. Thank you, New Hampshire. Thank you. Thank you, New Hampshire. Thank you. We are going now to South Carolina. We're going to win in South Carolina. I love you all. Thank you very much. Thank you.
The victorious Donald Trump talking to the assembled faithful in New Hampshire after winning convincingly, more than doubling second place John Kasich. In third, Ted Cruz with 12%. Right behind him, Jeb Bush. Jeb Bush did some talking. We have not heard what that sound is. Perhaps we can get a little bit of that on as the evening progresses here on 660 AM The Answer. I'd like to ask you what you think about Donald Trump winning New Hampshire. Are you happy? Is this a good thing? The populist wins. Are you happy about it? 866-660-5759. Ted Cruz has nothing to hang his head about. John Kasich was expected to finish in front of Ted Cruz, but Ted Cruz is essentially comfortably in front of Jeb Bush and very much in front of Marco Rubio. That after Chris Christie on Saturday night really damaged the Marco Rubio brand. He really did. It was that was a really hard exchange. And so a jubilant Donald Trump moves to South Carolina. You know, if he puts another 2 or 3 wins together in a row, Donald Trump is going to be a very, very difficult person to beat. 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. You're listening to the Wells Report. How do you feel about Donald Trump winning? 866-660-5759. Now talking is John Kasich, the governor of Ohio. Let's join his speech in progress.
Well, first of all, I want to congratulate Donald Trump tonight on his victory. But oh no. He won fair and square, but I beat him in Dixville Notch. Okay. Well, first of all, my daughters are at home, Emma and Reese, and we're all happy because they're not driving tomorrow. But how about my family, Emma and Reese, and of course my great wife Karen Kasich. And here in New Hampshire, I have to tell you, there's no way I would have gone forward with this campaign if it wasn't for John Sununu, the great Senator John Sununu. He's such a great partner. He's so smart and he's so disciplined, and he's just a great friend of mine. And we also want to spend a little time thanking former Senator Gordon Humphrey. Now, this man is... We were 1% in the national polls, and people are like, how can you ever win? And then, things are just, we're walking in a total obscurity up here. And Gordon Humphrey sends me an email, and he says, this is the hot plate that changed the world. Guys are sleeping on mattresses in the campaign headquarters, and they hold up a hot plate where they're eating their food. That's how you win elections. That's how you do it. And of course, our great friend Tom Rath, the former Attorney General. He's been one of the best guys I could have. Where is Tom Rath? And 17 years ago, I came here, and I thought things were going okay. Wasn't getting a lot of attention, and was standing in the kitchen, and I was talking to this lady, and I'm thinking, I got myself a town chairperson here. I mean, this lady really, really likes me. And after about 15 minutes, she looked at her watch and she said, when will the candidate get here? Can you tell us? But the guy that stuck with me for 17 years, Bruce Berkey. Where is Bruce? Bruce. Come on up. And listen, I want to tell you, and there's just no way to say this appropriately. When the media kept saying, well, how are you going to do this? Can you finish high? You know what I said? I have an insurance policy. It's you. It's all of you. How does a guy like me thank you for the countless hours, the phone calls, the door knocking? Some of you have come from, of course, our Buckeye State, and some have come...
Ohio Governor John Kasich will come in second in New Hampshire.
Okay, so Fox News coverage continues of all the speeches as they come hot and heavy. That is John Kasich. He won a second-place finish and then started thanking all of his big-time Republican Party allies who made it all possible. Oh, yeah, and then the voters of New Hampshire. I'm really a bore when it comes to John Kasich. I know that. I'm going to be better. He finished second, fair and square. Marco Rubio now is speaking about his third-place finish in New Hampshire.
Again, let's listen.
An apartment manager for about a year and a half, and then he couldn't find bartending work on Miami Beach. And so my father, in January of 1979, left to Las Vegas by himself, leaving his children and his wife in Miami to go look for a job. Now, he had worked for 20 years as a bartender. And when he got to Las Vegas, the only jobs he could find was as a busboy. After 20 years of working as a bartender, this gentleman, already well into his 50s, was carrying buckets of ice and cleaning glasses for bartenders half his age and not even a tenth of their experience. It was a very humbling experience. It was hard, but he was not prideful. He understood that it wasn't about him, it was about us. My father, more than halfway into his life, was willing to do whatever it took so that our future could be better. Well, that's the challenge before our country now. Not all the days are going to be great days. We're not always going to get things the way we want. But in the end, I am confident that not only will this campaign be successful, but America will be successful as well. I am confident that when this process is done, this nation will rediscover and re-embrace the principles that made her great. I am confident. I am confident. Because for over 2 centuries, Americans, in the end, have always gotten it right. In each generation before us, Americans have always done what needed to be done. And I know with all my heart that we will do what needs to be done in this generation to leave for our children what they deserve to inherit. A new American century, the greatest nation on earth. That is what we will do in this election. So, New Hampshire. New Hampshire, I thank you for welcoming us. I thank you for the snow. My kids had a great time. I thank you for your votes. I thank you for the hours you gave us on the phones and the doors that you knocked. I thank you. You will see us again because we're coming back in November to win the general election.
Special report for 2 minutes.
And New England, Maine, Vermont, Massachusetts. We'll see you in a few weeks. We're going to come and win. In South Carolina, we are on the way. Thank you and God bless you. Thank you.
Marco Rubio speaking before his group after a third place finish. It's more like a fourth place finish. I don't know why it would be a third place finish insofar as I guess the difference between 12% with Ted Cruz and 11%. It would be fourth place, but Fox News is saying it's a third place finish. Maybe it's too close to call between Ted Cruz, Jeb Bush, and Marco Rubio.
Special report in 1 minute.
866-660-5759. Cowgirl in Arlington, what do you think? Hello, Cowgirl in Arlington.
Yes, I'm sorry. I wasn't surprised in his answer because it's not an ideologue state. And Trump will get the big swath of cross-section except for right and left ideologues. And Iowa was that. So I think he's smart not to put too much effort. And I think if he sweeps South Carolina, possibly Virginia, even though Tim Scott is for Rubio, I think it's going to be pretty formidable. Who would have thought in March? So I think he's a formidable candidate.
Yeah, I think you're right. Donald Trump shows an amazing bit of real strength in New Hampshire, more than doubling the closest competitor. Thanks, Cowgirl. Appreciate it. 866-660-5759. Room for you on the Wells Report. Let's stop for SRN Network News as we find out more about the New Hampshire primary on 660 AM The Answer.
This is an SRN News special report, the New Hampshire primary. I'm Linda Kenyon in Washington. The voters have made their choices in the first-in-the-nation presidential primary. The Republican winner is Donald Trump.
We are going to make America great again.
For the Democrats, the winner is Bernie Sanders, who said his victory sends a strong message.
That the government of our great country
Hey, John David, we lost Crystal, but she's got, and we're going to work on
and
Katrina
not
to try to get her on.
just a handful of wealthy campaign contributors and their super PACs.
Second place finishers were John Kasich for the Republicans and Hillary Clinton for the Democrats. The next stop in the presidential race, the South Carolina primary. This has been an SRN News special report, the New Hampshire primary. I'm Linda Kenyon.
Hey, it's Mark Davis from my friend Josh DeShong. The real estate world of Josh DeShong sells houses when others cannot. I am living proof. Lisa and I are so thrilled with Josh. He came in and sold our house with blinding speed. You want a promise. You want somebody who's going to sit down with you and say, I promise to sell your house. Most folks won't do this. Josh will. His website is getsold.net, and he is telling you your house will get sold. How does he do this? Well, you call him at the number I'm about to give you. He sits down with you and says, let's arrive at an agreed upon price and an agreed upon time frame. If that house of yours does not sell at that price in that time frame, he, Josh DeShong, simply buys your house. That's it. You're out. You're at closing. You move on. So call him and call him today. Don't waste a day. 972-325-6644. 972-325-6644. D Magazine Best Realtor 3 years in a row. I'll love him forever. Josh DeShong. GetSold.net. 972-325-6644.
Hi, I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. Well, it's that time of year again. When the AC business is slow, the gimmicks start to flow. Right now, you'll hear 50% off sales, warehouse clearance sales, and my personal favorite, the guy who says it'll work for no profit. Nobody can run a business without profit. So rather than insult your intelligence with silly gimmicks, we partnered with a utility provider to offer real instant rebates, up to $1,800 off qualifying systems. But the utility funds are limited, so we're offering our free estimates on a first-come, first-served basis. If you need a new AC system, call the no-profit guy, then call the 50% off guys, and then call us. I guarantee we'll beat their price with brand-name Carrier equipment because we've been gimmick-free since '83. Our number's 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437, or visit us online at ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Are you ready to take your education to the next level? Arizona State University now offers more than 100 top-tier degree programs, 100% online. With ASU's highly ranked online programs, you'll earn the same degree as our on-campus students, with the ability to learn wherever you want, whenever you want. Same world-renowned faculty, same leading education, same global recognition from one of the top universities in the world. Call 1-800-581-3263. That's 1-800-581-3263.
I'm Jamie from Sherman Oaks, and I just graduated with my degree from Arizona State University. I chose ASU because I received a call in the major I wanted, all from my home.
Jamie's not the only one to earn a degree from ASU. There are over 100 degree programs offered 100% online from one of the top universities. Now's the time to learn more about earning your degree online from Arizona State University. Call 1-800-581-3263. That's 1-800-581-3263.
People who can afford a LASIK procedure sure are lucky. Imagine being able to throw away your contacts and glasses. Imagine waking up tomorrow with 20/20 vision. Too bad everyone can't afford LASIK. Well, guess what? There's a company that agrees with you. The LASIK Vision Institute is now offering dramatically low prices on high-quality LASIK to make it affordable for everyone. That means you get the latest FDA-approved LASIK technology for a fraction of what others charge. And if you call right now, we'll schedule a free appointment so you can discover if LASIK is right for you. Results may vary. Call 1-800-700-1851. Even better, if you're one of the first 100 callers, ask about an extra 20% discount off our already low-cost services. We've already performed over 1 million procedures. Let us help you. Discover how you can get the quality LASIK experience you deserve at a fraction of what others charge. For your free appointment, call 1-800-700-1851. 1-800-700-1851.
Things that require a personalized fit: shoes, pants, wedding rings, and heck, even brassieres. They all require a personal fit. Why wouldn't you do the same with your mattress? I promise you 30 minutes with the professionals at Sovereign European Sleep Systems, and that's exactly what you can expect. A custom-tailored mattress and a vastly more comfortable sleeping experience. Superior comfort and durability with made-in-America prices. Sovereign European Sleep Systems in Dallas and Southlake. Learn more at sovn.com.
Our sister station, 94.9 KLTY and the Dallas Baptist University Concert Series proudly welcomes the Road Show to the American Airlines Center February 12th with Jeremy Camp, the Newsboys, Mandisa, Phil Wickham, Family Force 5, Citizen Way, Danny Goki, and Sean Groves. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com or at American Airlines Center. Reserved seats are $20 or at the door the day of for $10. VIP tickets on sale now at theroadshowtour.com, February 12th.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. If it's important to you, it's on the Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. Let's join Ted Cruz as he speaks to his supporters.
Together, we have done what the pundits and media said could not be done. and what the Washington establishment desperately hoped would not be done. One week ago, all of the media predicted we would lose the state of Iowa.
They were wrong.
I had opposed the ethanol mandate taking on Washington and corporate welfare. My opponents attacked me, promising even more cronyism. And lobbyists spent millions of dollars in attack ads against our campaign. And yet the people of Iowa put their country first. They put their children first. And then this week, history repeated itself. Once again, the talking heads and the Washington insiders were confident that our wave of support would break against the rock of the Granite State. That a conservative, we were told, could not do well in the state of New Hampshire. We were told that over and over again, and tonight the men and women here and all across this great state proved them wrong. I want to congratulate Donald Trump on an impressive win tonight. And John Kasich had a good night tonight. But the real winner is the conservative grassroots. Who propelled us to an outright victory in Iowa and to a far stronger result and outcome in New Hampshire than anyone had predicted. Now we go on to South Carolina. The Palmetto State. And you know, Washington liberals may find South Carolina far less hospitable environs. And on to Nevada and Super Tuesday, the so-called SEC primary. And the voters will have a choice. Do we want a campaign conservative?
Ted Cruz, who is positioned to possibly finish third here.
All right, Ted Cruz is speaking, and we are kind of at the mercy of Fox News Channel as they go ahead and break in. Ted Cruz's sound much better. We like that. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. Chris Christie is due to speak in moments. We will hopefully be able to grab his victory speech as well. He doesn't really have much to tout. He's in about a fifth place finish with about 8% of the vote. And we will see whether or not he goes ahead and continues on to South Carolina or decides to go back to New Jersey. All that coming up as we continue to bring you wall-to-wall coverage of the New Hampshire primary for 2016. You're listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. We'll be back with more coming up in just a moment.
Sean Hannity is feeling the burn.
I'm with them. I want Bernie to get the nomination. I'm all for it. So I'm going to be nice to Bernie.
Are you saying that you're feeling the burn?
I'm feeling the burn, baby, burn. Little disco inferno. I'm feeling it for Bernie. I think Bernie would be great just because it would be so entertaining to watch Hillary lose, but be careful what you wish for, Hannity.
The Sean Hannity Show, afternoons at 2, right before Michael Medved at 5 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Dennis Gibbs, the boat guy here, host of the Big Boat and Outdoor Show, sponsored by DallasBoatsForSale.com. Let me break it down for you. We talk about boats and boating, boat ramps, marinas, lakes and water levels, boat sales, sailboats, sailing, anchoring, sinking, grounding, buying, selling, and enjoying the fun out on the water. You picking up what I'm putting down? If it floats, we talk about it every Saturday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer.
Take a second to think. I mean, how many Bibles do you have laying around your home? 2, 3? Now think about all the places you can go to buy one. There's a store on every corner or a Bible app in every phone. We've become so numb to how easily accessible a Bible can be. But what if your pastor had to walk a day's journey to the nearest Bible, memorize a chapter, then walk back to his church to preach that message he just memorized? That's the case for the churches planted by Harvesters throughout Africa. Harvesters is a ministry focused on planting churches in Muslim-crowded communities throughout Africa. There's a problem, though. Some of these churches don't even have one Bible. Either Muslim groups have burnt them or there's not access to one in the native tongue. For a one-time donation of $15, you can provide a Bible to a pastor in one of these churches. Just go to 660amtheanswer.com and click on the Harvesters banner to learn more. Go to 660amtheanswer.com and click on the Harvesters banner right now.
There's a thin line between love and hate. If your timeshare has crossed that line, you need the timeshare specialist at timesharespecialist.com. We've been transferring timeshare ownerships for over 12 years and have helped over 50,000 timeshare owners find new freedom. The experts at timesharespecialists.com can help you get rid of those increasing annual maintenance fees, complicated exchanges, locked-in dates, and resale scams for good. Selling your timeshare by yourself can be almost impossible. Our specialists offer real solutions that relieve you of the burden of timeshare ownership. It's the worry-free way to end the frustration, stop the financial drain, and restore the freedom to vacation when you want, where you want. If your timeshare has crossed the line, turn to the experts at timesharespecialists.com or call 800-264-9797. That's 800-264-9797. Got timeshare troubles? We have answers. Find yours at timesharespecialists.com.
Hi, I'm Brendan Burchard. Some people call me the world's highest paid motivational trainer, and some people call me crazy because I've just authorized a nationwide giveaway of my recent New York Times bestseller, The Motivation Manifesto. In the next 24 hours, I want to give away as many free books as possible. To get your hardcover copy, call 1-800-600-7769 or go to motivationbook.com. If you want to reach your true potential, personally, professionally, or financially, you need this book. You'll discover how to stop feeling tired and overwhelmed, identify the major enemies keeping you from living your dreams, and learn the secrets to defeating them. I'll teach you my proven strategies to start attaining the levels of drive and personal success you're craving: financial freedom, emotional freedom, time freedom. Due to high demand, I can only offer one free book per household. To get your free book while supplies last, call now 1-800-600-7769. That's 1-800-600-7769. Or go to motivationbook.com.
The year is not so new anymore, but your carpets can look that way with Zero Res. Hey, Mark Davis, my friends at Zero Res just gave me a fantastic carpet cleaning, and I'm offering it to you. $33 a room. $33 a room by calling 214-37-CLEAN. Then, plus 100 square feet of tile cleaning for free and a $50 gift card from Estilo Gaucho. It is pre-treated, clean, and sanitized. Best carpet cleaning ever from my friends at Zero Res. $33 a room. Call them now for the special. 214-37-CLEAN for Zero Res. 214-37-CLEAN.
Are you a responsible person who finds yourself growing deeper in credit card debt? Then get ready for a toll-free number that will put you on a path to financial recovery. Trinity Debt Management will consolidate your accounts and work with your creditors. You'll save thousands and become debt-free for keeps. If your debt has you down, we should talk. Call Trinity at 1-800-758-5360. 1-800-758-5360. 1-800-758-5360.
660 AM, The Answer. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report on 660 AM, The Answer.
So, to the people of New Hampshire and to the people of our country who are watching tonight, I say thank you for your confidence, your support, for your taking the time to listen to the things that we've had to say. You know me, I won't stop talking. I'll continue to speak out about the issues that I care about. We'll continue to work really hard together, and we'll move down the road from here based upon the results tonight in what's best in this order for my family, for my state, and for my country. And I thank you all very much.
That's Chris Christie saying tonight that he is going to return to New Jersey and take stock of his presidential campaign. He expected and needed a much better finish. If he would have been able to finish in the top three, he probably would press on to South Carolina. I'm expecting Governor Christie to stand down his presidential campaign probably tomorrow. We'll hear that or the next day. It certainly would be great to have him stick around because I believe he certainly adds to this race. But this isn't necessarily the time when mainstream politicians have much traction. And that's what we're seeing. It seems as though the voters are very, very happy with this insurgent idea, the populist and the stone conservative. Those two guys are going to duke it out for the rest of the night. I think frankly that that John Kasich, may represent the mainstream. Marco Rubio certainly represents the mainstream. I expect them to fall away next, insofar as, once again, this does not seem to be an election cycle where your connections in Washington will do you much good. It seems to me that it is a serious mess and a serious problem with you moving forward. If you want to be the president of the United States in 2016, you need to be able to stand apart from Washington, D.C., not a part of Washington, D.C. 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. We're going to try and get in touch with some people to talk a little bit about what they see tonight. But you're the very best an analyst that I can think of. 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. If you have a moment, we'd love to share it with you. Tell us what you think. So the battle between Cruz and Bush and Rubio is still very, very tight. As we come to the air, we're trying to find out just exactly how much of the New Hampshire primary vote is in. Vicki, if you can find out what the precinct percentage is that they've got that have reported so far, we'll see whether or not Cruz has anything to concern himself with Jeb Bush, who had a very seriously good night tonight. 65% of the precincts reporting, and Jeb Bush is solidly in fourth place. Crystal Wright is joining us. She's the publisher of the popular blog conservativeblackchick.com. She's the author of Con Job: How Democrats Gave Us Crime, Sanctuary Cities, Abortion, Profiteering, and Racial Division. She joins us to talk a little bit about the New Hampshire primary. Crystal, welcome to the Wells Report. Good to have you here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
So what do you think so far? So Donald Trump makes a big win. The populist moves up. We see the mainstream in John Kasich, who immediately jumps up to the podium to say thanks to John Sununu for whatever reason that was. That tells you where he is. He is solidly a Republican.
I think what New Hampshire proved is Donald Trump is number one, folks. Donald Trump, and he's going to be hard to stop. He has the wind beneath his wings. And I think if he goes on to South Carolina, where I predict that he's in good position to win that primary, I think that's Trump country. I think Trump is well on his way to being unstoppable. He is the GOP Great Wall, the Great Wall of the Republican Party to stop. And Kasich was perplexing to me. He slammed Sanders at the end of his rambling long speech for talking too long. And I'm like, Kasich, you won you came in second place. You're not number one. And granted, I think it was a great win for Kasich. He came out of nowhere, but he spent most of the time in all fairness, in New Hampshire. Kasich has devoted most of his attention. I don't think it's going to help him in the long run. And then at one point when he was telling us all we need to be nicer to each other when we're in the grocery store parking lot, and I'm like, are you a motivational speaker now, John? Governor Kasich? I mean, I like the governor, but he's going to have a tough time winning this nomination being pro-amnesty and pro-open borders and not for enforcement. I think it's going to be really hard for him moving forward, particularly in South Carolina, where we all know they're struggling with an illegal immigration problem and unemployment issues. I was in South Carolina 4 years ago during the Romney campaign. You know, I'm not the campaign, but during, you know, the election, the primary process there. And workers in South Carolina are still hurting, especially blue-collar workers losing jobs and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those things where, you know, I look at John Kasich and I see a guy who is solidly in the middle of the Republican Party, and he likes it there.
Yeah, and the squishy middle, which is, there's nothing wrong with that, but hey, let's talk about Jeb Bush. Wow, finishing third above Cruz and Rubio.
Actually, he's behind Cruz right this very moment.
Now he is. Okay.
Yeah, he's above Rubio, but behind Cruz, so he's right there. Yeah.
Yeah, I got those confused. So Cruz is still he's
still
number 3.
Yeah, he's still number 3. Jeb Bush right behind him. Cruz has 12%.
Rubio, right? So Rubio is like below. I guess that's a surprise that Bush is above Rubio, and Rubio's really it's not surprising. I thought his debate performance, and I think he acknowledged this in his concession speech. He got eaten alive by Chris Christie.
Yes, he did.
Even though Chris Christie didn't benefit from this primary, I think we're seeing Rubio's true colors show. He's a political, operative. I mean, not operative, but he'll do anything and say anything to get elected. I mean, remember, folks, Rubio got elected because of the Tea Party.
Yeah, he did, and then he turned his back on the Tea Party. Then he turned his back on the Tea Party when he got to Washington.
Yeah, but now he's acting like he's a crown prince of the establishment. I don't really respect that, and I think voters saw through that. He looks like a phony, and he doesn't show up for work, like Christie said. He wants to slam Chris Christie for, like, cleaning up the snow in New Jersey, but yet he's never been held accountable for his own job performance. He's not doing the work of the people of Florida, what they elected him to. He doesn't show up to vote.
Crystal Wright is our guest. She is the publisher of conservativeblackchick.com, author of Con Job, How Democrats Gave Us Crime, Sanctuary Cities, Abortion Profiteering, and Racial Division. Let's talk a little bit about Chris Christie. He said he's going to go back to New Jersey, and he's going to reevaluate the campaign in this order for his family, his state, and his nation. And that sounds to me like he's about to take the rest of the election season off.
Yeah, I think the white flag is being waved here. The white flag, I surrender. I think it's time, frankly, for the field to winnow. And while I love Carly Fiorina,
let's talk about Carly because
Carly, come on. I mean, it's not because you're a girl; it's because you're not winning, as Trump would say. I mean, in all fairness, really.
Well, the only thing that I can say about that is this: at some point, the Republican Party is going to have to acknowledge that women are a part of the party.
Oh, and black people and Hispanics and Asians.
Sure.
And I think, frankly, Donald Trump, and I said this, I went out on a limb on a program, I was on RT Network, Russia Today, last week, and I said, I really firmly believe Donald Trump is the only candidate that can bring together all these coalitions. And tonight, we saw a gentlemanly, statesman-like, less pugnacious Donald Trump. I was sitting here, and I like Donald Trump, what he's doing for the blowing up the whole political machine, right?
Oh, yeah.
I was stunned, thanking and I got to say, how endearing to thank his brothers and sisters first and foremost, and acknowledge his beloved brother Fred, who died. I think he was an alcoholic.
Yeah.
He's now deceased. I got to say, I was like, wow.
Well, it really humanized him. And and when you start looking at Donald Trump and you see the way he has structured his campaign, it's been truly wonderful. You said it brilliantly. He blew up the politics as normal, the political cabal between the parties and the media. He blew that up to begin with.
The establishment.
Yeah. Then what ends up happening is that he goes from there and he keeps himself in the spotlight, takes the oxygen out of the room, continues to push it. And then as the time has gone by, now he's becoming more and more presidential.
And guess what, guys? Donald Trump, newsflash, everybody, this is why he's doing well. He's not a professional politician, as he reminded us tonight. Not one dime from a super PAC. He put $13 million of his own money in his campaign. The other $6 million came from mostly small dollar donors, okay? Not rich fat cats from Wall Street like Hillary Clinton. Oh, and let's talk about Bernie Sanders. You know why Bernie Sanders is flying off to New York? I don't know if you know this. He's meeting with Al Sharpton because he thinks that all he has to do is meet with a race hustler, which I talked about in Con Job, That's all he has to do to get the black vote. And he's behind because he comes from, and I don't play identity politics, but Democrats do, so this is why I'm pointing it out. Bernie Sanders isn't polling well with any of the minorities, He's polling well with young women, but no minorities. Hillary Clinton has a minority vote on lock right now. I think she's leading Sanders by about 40%, and she has 9 out of 10 black voters supporting her. So he thinks, well, let me jet set off. He's going to meet. Let me tell you how insulting this is. He's going to meet with Al Sharpton tomorrow at a black restaurant, Sylvia's, this famous black restaurant in Harlem, and he thinks that's all he has to do, and blacks are going to check the box for him in South Carolina and moving forward. Folks, you need to read my book. This is the kind of insulting politics I talk about. This is what they think blacks are political dummies. All you got to do is check that box.
Well, you know, Crystal Wright is our guest. She is the author of Con Job, How Democrats Gave Us Crime, Sanctuary Cities, Abortion Profiteering, and Racial Division. You know what I'm interested in? You were talking about Bernie Sanders a second ago.
Right.
One of the people, you mentioned you had an interview with Russia Today, which is turning into a very good journalistic organization. Who would have ever thought that out of Pravda and Izvestia, we would get Russia Today, which is a pretty dang good news network.
And when I go on Russia Today, I went on for the first time I was on, I guess last week. They actually let me talk and give comments where they don't cut me off and try to act like, you know, I'm a conservative, so I'm bad.
Right.
And they do, like you said, in-depth reporting. Now, you know, they are sponsored by the state government, but I think what they're trying to do, and it's smart on Putin's part, is, you know, they're trying to get a window inside of the American politics and the way we think. But you have Ed Schultz has a show over there now, Larry King. So you do have, and plenty of American journalists appear on their network like me offering commentary.
What I'm trying to find out, Crystal, is what do they think of Bernie Sanders? I mean, you know, I was here on the air on the Wells Report, and I said, you know, I don't think Bernie Sanders could get elected anywhere in Russia right now.
Well, I haven't talked about that with them, but I'm supposed to go on tomorrow afternoon. So I'm going to suggest to the producers that we talk about that I want to hear from their perspective as well, and then I'll share mine. I think that's a good point. I mean, I think they probably think, you know, you have to believe that they sit back and think, wow, America is really regressing if Democrats can have a candidate like Bernie Sanders actually giving Hillary Clinton a run for her money. And what I said tonight on Twitter is I said, Bernie Sanders shows how emasculated Obama how Obama has emasculated the Democrat Party. That really shows you where the state of play, right, with Democrats, that a candidate like Bernie Sanders is now challenging Hillary Clinton in a formidable way.
Yeah,
this is sad.
It's not just sad; it's an embarrassment.
And it's frightening. When I heard Bernie Sanders talk tonight in his rambling speech, I mean, it's like, Bernie, when are you going to shut up? I want to hear Trump, please. And the networks aren't going to cover Trump until you shut up.
Well, the interesting thing about Bernie Sanders, he's talking about this great political revolution that isn't going to happen.
Because you can't pay for it all. You know what I think when I watched tonight? I was like, okay, so basically, Bernie, who's going to be left to work so you can redistribute all the hard workers' wealth to all the people wearing mouse suits and carrying 10 cups?
Well, if you like $19.1 trillion worth of national debt, that is exactly what Bernie Sanders is now proposing. He is proposing that in programs.
Yes, and he's going to tell you how much you're going to be capped at. Guys, listen, you're going to be capped at how much you can earn and where you can live and where you can work, what food you can eat, because there's not going to be enough money to go around if he's going to – you're going to have to tax so-called rich people or hardworking people over 70% for all that garbage. That's why the young people love him.
Yeah, well, it's
free
nuts.
Stuff,
yeah, it's really
free
nuts.
College.
Crystal Wright, we're going to keep your telephone number and we're going to tell people about you. ConservativeBlackChick.com. It's an incredibly popular blog, and she's an author. Con Job: How Democrats Gave Us Crime, Sanctuary Cities, Abortion Profiteering, and Racial Division. We're just getting started, Crystal. I can hardly wait to talk to you again.
Sounds great.
All right. Take good care. Crystal Wright joining us on the Wells Report here on 660 AM The Answer. So what do you think about tonight? Donald Trump wins the Republican side. Are you happy or sad, and why? Ted Cruz finishes in a solid third. John Kasich finishes in second place, and they're still duking it out with some 60 to 70% of the precincts reporting in New Hampshire. We're bringing you New Hampshire primary coverage on the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer. We'll be back with more coming up in just a moment. Patriot Mobile is the place to do your cell phone talking. Hi, I'm John David Wells for the Wells Report. Talk and text plans 10 to 15% lower than the big guys. Great smartphones, regular flip phones, whatever phone you want. You don't have to wait another couple of years because Patriot Mobile will buy you out of your contract. They'll let you keep your number. They'll save you money. And there's something else. Patriot Mobile is the only cell phone company in the world that donates 5% of every dollar to conservative causes, groups, and candidates. Plus, they're local. They're right here in South Lake. Let your neighbors take care of your cell phone service. The most important election of our lifetime is right here. Last time around, Big Mobile preferred Hillary over Obama and stands to reap huge profits from the Clinton brand of crony capitalism in 2016. You can do something about that. Do not be a part of the hundreds of millions of dollars that big cell phone companies spend on liberal agenda items, candidates, and values. What you need to do is get in touch with Patriot Mobile, a conservative cell phone company for conservatives, and you can find this out for yourself by going to patriotmobile.com. Go to patriotmobile.com, tell them you heard about it on the Wells Report, and you will be a happy capitalist adventurer with your new cell phone from Patriot Mobile.
More of the Wells Report is coming up next on 660 AM. The Answer.
Would you like the security of a 30-year fixed rate mortgage refi with our lowest payment possible, all without paying closing costs? Well, Cash Call Mortgage has a 30-year rate special starting at a rate so low, our lawyer won't let us say it on the radio. So call and find out how much this 30-year rate will cut your monthly payment while still knocking down your current loan balance. And the best part of all is the rate is fixed. The lawyer's right. It's a little complicated to explain on the radio. So call 855-875-CASH to find out how it works.
What? You'll cut my payment with no fees of any kind, and my balance will still go down?
Yep. Paying an interest rate below 3% really makes a big difference. To find out how big, just call 855-875-CASH. That's 855-875-CASH to slice your monthly payment now.
Impact Mortgage Corp. DBA Cash Call Mortgage. 1 City Boulevard, Orange, California, 92868. Equal housing lender. Call 855-657-9910 for licensing terms and restrictions. NMLS 128231. Offer for first mortgage.
That's 855-875-CASH.
Are you in the market for a new gun? Is there a specific brand that you're looking for? Or are you looking to buy from someone you trust and someone who has the knowledge to help you? You could get your new gun anywhere, but no place will have a selection better than Texas Gun Pros. When it comes to buying guns, Texas Gun Pros is here to help. Come in and let our guys match you with the perfect gun to meet your needs, whether it's for hunting, personal protection, or just having fun at the range. Texas Gun Pros has it. With our local inventory and vast online catalog, you have access to thousands of guns from the country's best distributors. Texas Gun Pros is the only place in North Texas that can give you the gun you want for the price you can afford. Don't miss out on the amazing selection and friendly staff at Texas Gun Pros. Stop by our North Richland Hills location or visit us on the web at texasgunpros.com. That's texasgunpros.com. texasgunpros.com. And see how it feels to be a member of the Texas Gun Pros family.
Our sister station, KLTY, presents Pink Impact on May 13th and 14th at the Fort Worth Convention Center with worship from Carrie Joe.
We are the light of the world. We are the city on a hill.
Pink Impact features speakers like Priscilla Shire, Debbie and Robert Morris, Linda Lane, Christine Kane, Charlotte Gamble, and more. You can't miss this women's conference. 94.9 KLTY welcomes Pink Impact, May 13th and 14th. Get tickets and details now at pinkimpact.com. That's pinkimpact.com.
If you've got questions, we've got answers. 660 AM. The Answer. The Wells Report, a daily good old-fashioned North Texas barbecue of anybody trying to take advantage of us on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. If you go to either of my Facebook pages, either John David Vox, JONDAVIDVOX, or the Wells Report on Facebook, what you can do is you can find us on video. I'm wearing a rare color for me. I'm wearing green today. This is my sweatshirt. This is actually the sweater I use to imitate a Black Hawk helicopter The black helicopters that are so famous in the American lexicon. Well, they're not actually black. They're actually green and gray. And this is my rendition of that. And you can see that resplendent tonight on video on the Wells Report. You can go to, we're on YouTube live events. I finally figured out how to do it. They changed everything, and I finally got it back on the air. So we're putting up video, and you can join us right here in the control room. See me stare off into space, doze off from time to time, little things like that, as we continue bringing you the New Hampshire primary. And that's exactly what we're doing here on 660 AM The Answer. By the way, the Democrats, Hillary had a tough day today. She was defeated by a full-on socialist communist from the good old days of the Soviet Union. And that may be the best part of her day. Judicial Watch found out something else about what's going on with her. A judge is angry with her. And Marco Rubio, who may be having trouble in the New Hampshire primary, nailed her to the wall. I will explain all of this and more as we come back on the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer.
Check, please. No, I got it. That's the second time this week. Did you get a raise? Nope, I got a refi on my car loan with EECU Credit Union. Can I get one too? Sure, just call 800-849-9977. They'll beat your current APR by 2% and lower your payment. 2%? Heck, with that kind of money, I could buy lunch for you and get that new 50-inch TV. Yeah, I was paying 5% APR and they took me down to 3% APR. Plus, I got up to 90 days to make my first payment. No wonder the leading consumer magazine just ranked EECU highest among credit unions in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But you're not a teacher. You don't have to be a teacher to refinance your car loan with EECU. Just call 800-849-9977 or visit eecu.org/660. Tell them your current APR, and as long as you've had your loan at least 90 days, they'll beat it by 2%. Can't beat that. But hurry, it's a limited time offer. Call 800-849-9977 or visit eecu.org/660.
Subject to credit approval. Floor rate is 2.25 annual percentage rate. Membership required. Not valid with loans currently financed with the ECU. Additional terms and conditions apply. Call 800-849-9977 for details.
Control, this is QL1. Side hatch is secure. QL1, this is Control. We copy, showing normal cabin pressure. Over. Control, this is QL1. Do you like mortgages? That's a negative, QL1. Over. Control, do you like rockets? That's affirmative, QL1. Over. Do you like rocket mortgages? I'm listening. Over. Of course you are, Control. Everyone likes rockets. Control, Rocket Mortgage by Quicken Loans is the first on-demand mortgage machine that turns the entire mortgage process into a fast, powerful, completely online experience. Copy that, QL1. I'm going to go ahead and push this button in. 3, 2, 1. Rocket Mortgage at QuickenLoans.com. Push button, get mortgage. Rocket.
Visit for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLSconsumeraccess.org number 3030.
Did you pay a lot for that quote top-of-the-line mattress and it's already breaking down and uncomfortable? Time to look into the Sovereign European Sleep System. The Sovereign bed is simply a better bed made with certified organic cotton and wool covers and 100% natural latex cushioning. Never polyurethane or memory foam. More comfortable too, custom tailored for greater individualized comfort based on your size, weight, and primary sleeping positions. Superior comfort and durability with made-in-America prices. Sovereign European Sleep Systems in Dallas and Southlake. Learn more at sovn.com.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Jane Metzler. Bernie Sanders and Donald Trump declared the winners of today's New Hampshire primary. Trump talked about Sanders in his victory speech.
Congratulations to Bernie. In all fairness, we have to congratulate him. We may not like it, but I heard parts of Bernie's speech. He wants to give away our country, folks. He wants to give away. We're not going to let it happen.
John Kasich, the Republican runner-up.
We see this as an opportunity for all of us, and I mean all of us, to be involved in something that's bigger than our own lives, to change America, to re-shine America, to restore the spirit of America, and to leave no one behind. Am I right? That's what we're all fighting for.
Ted Cruz, Jeb Bush, and Marco Rubio battling for third, followed by Chris Christie, who says he's going home to New Jersey to decide whether to stay in the race. Fox News, we report, you decide.
This is 660 AM. The Answer. We all know life can get crazy and you're not always near a radio. But one thing is for sure, your phone goes everywhere with you. And now we can too. Download the 660 AM The Answer app to your phone and listen live wherever you go. If you miss any of the Mark Davis Show or the Wells Report, you can catch up whenever, wherever. Plus, dial the 660 AM The Answer studio directly from the app. And it's free. We make it easy to stay connected. Download our app now. 660 AM, The Answer.
We've had some voting. We've had some debating. Now it's time for Texans to weigh in on the 2016 presidential race. The candidates are ready. Our state is ready. The question is, are you ready for the final debate before the Texas primary?
I know I'm ready, JD, and we're hoping everybody's fired up for our last debate watch party before Texas votes. It's Thursday night, February 25th, and we'll put it up on the big screen at 660 AM The Answer Debate Headquarters, Studio Movie Grill, 75 in Spring Valley in Dallas.
Mark Davis and I will be your hosts. The full Studio Movie Grill menu is available. Admission is just $10. Get your tickets now at 660amtheanswer.com. If you've become a regular for our debate events, or if this is just your first time, get ready to hear from the candidates and the audience.
We look forward to welcoming you and hearing from you February 25th. Studio Movie Grill, 75 in Spring Valley. Tickets just $10 now at 660amtheanswer.com.
Don't miss the final debate watch party before the Texas primary. That's Thursday, February 25th at the Studio Movie Grill in Dallas. This event is sponsored by AAA Auger Plumbing Services and Texas Alliance for Life.
Hey, does the idea of having your home sold on time without hassle and for top dollar, does that seem unrealistic to you? Well, it doesn't have to. Hey, Dallas, it's your friend Sean Hannity with your solution and the one real estate agent to sell your home guaranteed. That's Josh DeShong of Josh DeShong Real Estate at Keller Williams. On average, Josh sells a home every 32 hours and averages hundreds of local, national, and international buyers every single week. Now, that means your home sells on time at a price that you agreed to, guaranteed, or Josh will buy it. He spends 200 times more money on marketing than the average agent. Real estate mogul and Shark Tank star Barbara Corcoran only recommends Josh in DFW. And if I lived in Dallas and needed my home sold, guess what? I'd call Josh DeShong, and you should too. Call Josh now at 972-325-6644 or go online at getsold.net. That's 972-325-6644 or getsold.net.
Hey, everybody, it's Mark Davis. Everyone is clamoring for your Valentine's Day attention. It's coming and coming quick. Let me cut through all the noise. You know the thing that came to my house that I loved the most, and so did Lisa? Oh, my gosh, it's the Sherry's berries, the chocolatey dipped strawberries. Incredible. Picked at the peak of freshness. Huge, dipped in white milk and dark chocolatey goodness, topped with chocolate chips, chopped nuts, decorative swizzles. Oh, take your pick. It's a fantastic gift. It's the best. Call 866-FRUIT-02, 866-FRUIT-02, or visit Berries, Berries, berries.com, and go to the top right corner, type in Davis for some special offers. That's 866-FRUIT-02 or berries.com for freshly dipped strawberries from Sherry's Berries. They are delicious. The strawberries are great. The chocolatey dipping is fantastic. 866-FRUIT-02 or best yet, berries.com, Berries, berries.com. Go to the microphone at the top right, type in Davis, berries.com or 866-FRUIT-02, berries.com.
If you're considering going back to school, ask yourself the following questions. Do you need the flexibility to take classes on your schedule? Do you have college credits you need transferred? Do you want to earn a quality degree from a world-renowned university? If you answered yes to any of these questions, Arizona State University is the perfect school for you. Arizona State University offers over 100 highly ranked degree programs 100% online. You'll earn the same degree as you would on campus, from wherever you are, on your schedule. Plus, ASU Online accepts most transfer credits. For information, call 1-800-400-8172. Learn for yourself why the Wall Street Journal ranks ASU 5th in the nation for producing the best qualified graduates, and why 90% of ASU grads are recruited within 90 days of graduation. Learn to grow, learn to succeed, and learn to thrive at Arizona State University. To learn more about ASU online degrees, call 1-800-400-8172. That's 1-800-400-8172.
In Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 2, God says, "Write in a book all the words I've spoken to you." Is there a story in you today? Have you ever felt urged by God to write those words in a book? Zulon Press is the largest, most experienced Christian self-publisher in the world, and they're offering a free publishing guide at christianpublishingguide.com. They've helped thousands of people just like you tell their stories and touched thousands of lives.
Share your story and find out more today at 660amtheanswer.com. Visit 660amtheanswer.com now.
Hey, it's Mark Davis. Big Happy New Year from my friends at Good Feet. Listen, it's not just about getting out of pain. A lot of times arch supports can solve your foot pain, hip pain, back pain, but sometimes it's about the right kind of arch support so you don't get hurt while working out, walking, doing a lot of things to get in better shape. So get out of pain and get into better shape today with a visit to Good Feet. GoodFeetDFW.com or any of the DFW stores, Plano, Fort Worth, or Southlake. Good Feet, GoodFeetDFW.com. Check them out. GoodFeetDFW.com.
660 AM, The Answer. 660 AM, TheAnswer.com. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. After being trounced today by Bernie Sanders in New Hampshire, two things are very likely going to happen. Hillary Clinton is going to have to figure out some way of solving that puzzle, or the Democrat Party is going to have to do something about putting a candidate up there that can take out Bernie Sanders, because it doesn't look like Hillary Clinton is the one. Now, keep this in mind, that New Hampshire is Bernie Sanders' country. He is a guy who is going to be very strong in there, and Hillary knew it. But this is still an embarrassment coming out of a way too close, just razor thin, quote, win, unquote, out of the Iowa caucuses. Hillary's going to have to look at this a little bit more realistically here. And so are the Democrats. The Democrats are going to have to decide whether or not they're going to let Bernie Sanders be their standard bearer in 2016. This would be a bad thing, just saying. Let's talk a little bit about what else happened in Hillary's day today. Judicial Watch released nearly 70 pages of State Department records that show that former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton and her top aides, Deputy Chiefs of Staff Huma Abedin and Jake Sullivan, received and sent classified information on their non-state.gov email accounts. The documents, also available on the State Department website, were obtained in response to a court order from a May 5th, 2015 lawsuit filed against the State Department, Judicial Watch Incorporated versus the U.S. Department of State, after it failed to respond to a March 18th Freedom of Information Act request seeking, quote, all emails of official State Department business received or sent by former Deputy Chief of Staff Huma Abedin from January 1st, 2009 through February 1st, 2013, using a non-state.gov email address. The new documents show that Hillary Clinton used the clintonemail.com system to ask Huma Abedin, also on a non-state.gov email account, to print two March 2011 emails, which were sent from former British Prime Minister Tony Blair using the moniker ACLB to Jake Sullivan on Sullivan's non-state.gov email account. The Obama State Department redacted the Blair emails under Exemption B1, which allows the withholding of classified material. The material is marked as being classified as foreign government information and foreign relations or foreign activities of the U.S., including confidential sources. Another email shows that Clinton wanted to know how meetings in Washington, including a 4-hour meeting concerning America's war on Libya, would impact her Hampton vacation. Oh, no. Responding to an email that details the sensitive meetings in D.C., Clinton emails Abedin on August 26, 2011. Quote, okay, what time would I get back to the Hamptons? Unquote. Again, this email discussion takes place on non-state.gov email accounts. The documents also include advice to Clinton on Libya from Sidney Blumenthal, a Clinton Foundation employee who, according to a Judicial Watch investigative report, also had business interests in Libya. Clinton wanted Blumenthal's March 9th, 2011 Libya memo to be printed, quote, without any identifiers, unquote. The newly released Aberdeen emails include a lengthy exchange giving precise details of Clinton's schedule using unsecured government emails. Well, at least while she's compromising the safety of America's clandestine operators around the world, at least she's also compromising her own security and safety. What a dope. Seriously? Man. The email from Lona Valmoro, former special assistant to Secretary of State Clinton to Aberdeen and Clinton, reveals exact times, including driving times and locations of all appointments throughout the day. Another itinerary email provides details about a meeting in the United Nations in New York at 3 on Tuesday, January 31st, 2012, with the precise disclosure that would mean wheels up from Andrews at approximately 12 p.m., 12:15 p.m. Apparently, no one with a Stinger missile got that email. Strangely enough. Jeez. Can you believe this? Unbelievable. These emails show that Hillary Clinton is not the only Obama official who should be worried about being prosecuted for mishandling classified information. Her former top state aides and current campaign advisors, Huma Abedin and Jake Sullivan, should be in the dock as well, said Judicial President Tom Fitton. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. And if they're not careful, Jake and Huma could find themselves being hung out to dry by their former boss and political ally. They need to be really careful about this. The Obama State Department has now confirmed that Clinton, Abedin, and Sullivan used unsecured non-government email accounts to communicate information that should now be withheld from the American people in the interests of national defense or foreign policy and properly classified. When can we expect the indictments? Writes Judicial Watch. Speaking of releasing this information and the embarrassment therein, a federal judge said today he is disturbed by the State Department's failure to meet a deadline he ordered to finish the public release of 54,000 pages of email messages Hillary Clinton sent or received during her 4 years as Secretary of State. The government has put me between a rock and a hard place, which is a position I don't like to be in, said U.S. District Court Judge Rudolph Contreras during a half-hour-long hearing today. Contreras signaled that he is not inclined to grant states' request that the deadline for release of all remaining pages of Clinton's emails be extended until the end of this month. However, he did not immediately set a new deadline for state to complete its work on the Clinton messages. The department should expect to produce something on the 18th, if not sooner, the judge said. The prolonged disclosure process is helping to keep the issue of Clinton's emails in the news as she tries to fend off a surprisingly strong challenge from Bernie Sanders. Got stronger today. Today's hearing took place as a part of a Freedom of Information Act lawsuit filed by Vice News reporter Jason Leopold. His lawyers have argued that allowing state to drag out the release of emails deprives the voters in the Democrat primaries and caucuses of information they are entitled to have to make up their mind. Contreras said he agreed. Quote, to state the obvious, these documents have a lot of public interest and the timing is important for reasons stated by the plaintiff, unquote. By the way, Judge Contreras was appointed by President Barack Obama. By the way, you need to remember this guy's name. Because as far as Judge Contreras is concerned, at least on this case, the law is more important than politics. Are you listening, Elena Kagan? Now, this is a judge, not a politician. In May of last year, he ordered the State Department to make monthly releases of Clinton's emails starting in June and concluding by January 29th. Last month, State told Contreras it would be unable to meet the deadline because it overlooked more than 7,000 pages of emails that required interagency review but were never sent to those agencies or were only distributed to some of the relevant agencies. The diplomatic agency also said the blizzard that struck Washington last month delayed distribution of the messages once they were discovered. I've never seen a blizzard so bad that it inhibited email. And I do mean email in a classified system. Just saying. Jeez. Okay, so let me give you my idea about what we're dealing with here. The State Department, if Judge Contreras thinks he's between a rock and a hard place, you got to think about the United States Department of State. They have this malfunctioning secretary that went out there and did all this. They have to go page by page through all of this and determine which of this material is thoroughly classified. They can't do it themselves. This poppycock notion that the State Department can determine whether or not the classification is valid or not for emails that they are in possession of from another agency is like I said, pure poppycock. So what they have to do is they've got to send those messages back to those agencies, and those agencies have to determine whether or not their classification stands. Now, those people at those agencies, the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, spy satellites, NSA, CIA, they don't classify things for fun. They classify things because they must be classified. Chances are very unlikely that any of these classifications are going to change. And the pit gets deeper and deeper and deeper for Hillary Clinton, Huma Abedin, Jake Sullivan, and others to be named later. They say et al. In FBI disclosure documents. There's a big time issue here. And the noose is getting much tighter every single day. But the State Department has got to figure out how to get those messages out, determine their classification, bring them back, and then redact them for whatever reasons they need to redact them, and then release them. That is a very difficult row to hoe. The judge knows it. And what he's trying to do by letting this hang out there, and he'll probably end up issuing some citation notices, citations of contempt. He'll probably do that. He might even put a couple of people in jail. But the simple case of the matter is that he's got to get State Department's attention. They've got to work as fast as humanly possible to get this done. They're not going to want to. Because with every release of information from this server, the State Department looks more and more and more like an idiot government organization, something that they have never, ever had to deal with. The State Department, up until this particular gang of people who run it, has been the epitome of how a bureaucracy can actually work. But they are in deep trouble now. So that's what's going on with this. At the beginning of the hearing today, Judge Contreras pressed the Justice Department attorney Robert Prince about how many messages had already cleared the review process, how long and how soon they could be posted. Prince said 570 emails were either done being reviewed or close to it. And then the judge proposed, let's get those up by next Tuesday. Your Honor, I don't think that's at all possible, said Prince. He said there were numerous logistic steps in preparing the emails for release on the state's website, including transferring them from a classified platform to an unclassified one. Well, all you really have to do is ask Jake Sullivan and Huma Abedin to do it. They can do it pretty quickly. Too harsh? Too sarcastic? Said, yeah. Yeah. Yep. They got a problem. I don't know how they're going to deal with it. There's more about this. We'll get to it when we come back. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer.
This is an SRN News special report, the New Hampshire primary. I'm Linda Kenyon in Washington. And the winners are Donald Trump for the Republicans and Bernie Sanders for the Democrats. Trump told supporters he's going to make America great again.
We're going to beat China, Japan. We're going to beat Mexico at trade. We're going to beat all of these countries that are taking so much of our money away from us.
Bernie Sanders savored his victory over Hillary Clinton, saying it came from meager beginnings.
We had no campaign organization, we had no money, and we were taking on the most powerful political organization in the United States of America.
The strong second-place finisher for the GOP was Governor John Kasich. Candidates next turn their attention to the next primary in South Carolina. This has been an SRN News special report, the New Hampshire primary. I'm Linda Kenyon.
The Mark Davis Show. Mark Davis Show.
As we learned in Iowa, winning is great, but who finishes in what order behind the winners can be a big story too. Certainly the case post New Hampshire, so join us for a Wednesday morning look at how the deck is shuffled, moving towards South Carolina, and of course Texas. We vote in 3 weeks. Stakes are high, so are the expectations for a lot of candidates moving forward. Your New Hampshire reactions on the Wednesday show.
The Mark Davis Show. Weekday mornings at 7, right before Mike Gallagher at 10 on 660 AM, The Answer.
Hi, this is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor. I'd like for you to join me on my talk show this weekend. What I do is teach people how to go the natural, organic route. I stir up trouble, too, because I throw out some things that a lot of people just don't think are correct. You know what? We have a lot of experience to back up what we recommend. Have healthier gardens and more fun gardening. Join me this and every weekend.
Join Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
Hey, everybody. Mark Davis for my friends at Climate Evangelista Eye Center. They have a question for those of you who are over 40. Are you over 40? Still listening? Let's talk a little bit about life over 40. Funny things happen after 40. Put your phone's text size on extra large and you're still squinting. Arms just not quite long enough to read the paper, a book, a restaurant menu. Wouldn't it be nice if there was a way to get back to better vision? There is. Great news. The corneal inlay procedure. Corneal inlay from Climate Evangelista is specially designed for the over 40 crowd having a little trouble seeing things up close. So unless you're in love with the idea of reading glasses for the rest of your life, call Climate Evangelista Eye Center. Ask about the corneal inlay procedure. 1-800-714-2020, 1-800-714-2020, or visit myinlay.com, myinlay, myinlay.com for details. Climate Evangelista Eye Center. We can't literally turn back the clock. We can help you enjoy life with better vision thanks to the corneal inlay procedure. 1-800-714-2020 or myinlay.com.
Hi, I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. Well, it's that time of year again. When the AC business is slow, the gimmicks start to flow. Right now, you'll hear 50% off sales, warehouse clearance sales, and my personal favorite, the guy who says he'll work for no profit. Nobody can run a business without profit. So rather than insult your intelligence with silly gimmicks, we partnered with the utility provider to offer real instant rebates, up to $1,800 off qualifying systems. But the utility funds are limited, so we're offering our free estimates on a first-come, first-served basis. If you need a new AC system, call the no-profit guy, then call the 50% off guys, and then call us. I guarantee we'll beat their price with brand-name Carrier equipment because we've been gimmick-free since '83. Our number's 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437, or visit us online at ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
Policies issued by American General Life Insurance Company, Houston, Texas. Not available in all states. For details, visit AIGdirect.com.
Do you have a family? Would you like to help make sure they'll be taken care of if anything were to happen to you? If you answered yes, you probably need life insurance. Now, do you think life insurance is expensive? If you answered yes to that too, you definitely need to give AIG Direct a call. We could find you a $250,000 policy for just $14 a month, which means you could save hundreds of dollars a year. Call us now for a free, no-obligation quote. 1-800-433-5915. Since 1995, we've helped millions of people find out if they could save up to 70% on their term life insurance. See how affordably we can help you protect your family. Call AIG Direct now for your free quote. 1-800-433-5915. You could save up to 70%. That's 1-800-433-5915. 1-800-433-5915.
Our sister station, 94.9 KLTY and the Dallas Baptist University Concert Series proudly welcomes the Road Show to the American Airlines Center February 12th with Jeremy Camp, the Newsboys, Mandisa, Phil Wickham, Family Force 5, Citizen Way, Danny Goki, and Sean Groves. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com or at American Airlines Center. Reserve seats are $20 or at the door the day of for $10. $10. VIP tickets on sale now at theroadshowtour.com, February 12th. At GoDaddy, a domain name is the beginning of something awesome. Use it to create a website to promote your business. Open an online store to sell your products. Start a blog. Build your brand. You can even connect your domain to your LinkedIn or Facebook page. And GoDaddy customer support is always ready to help. What will you do with your domain name? Get a .com domain name for only $2.99 for the first year. Right now at GoDaddy.com. 2-year purchase required. Second year is $14.99.
You can listen on the go. Find us on iHeartRadio. 660 AM, The Answer. Only for Texas. This is the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. This lawyer, who is Robert Prince, he is the Justice Department attorney. The Justice Department attorney, did you get that? Yeah. I've been told by my client this is an involved process, saying the posting process alone takes a week. Seems unreasonably long period of time to just post or give access to something that's already past clearance, said the judge. This is going to be a food fight here. Leopold's attorney, Ryan James, said his client would be opposed to an interim release and would prefer to see all 7,000 remaining pages out sooner than the new February 29th deadline state proposed when it missed the one last month. James suggested moving up the date a week or so, but Contreras said he didn't think that would work because so many documents are still being reviewed at other agencies. This is just not going to work. This is just not going to work. Remember, when Judge Contreras put that deadline out there, he had no idea how big this gigantic flipping mess actually was. Every time they turn around, the people at State and the Justice Department find another migraine headache that they have to try to figure out thanks to Hillary Clinton. I mean, there are 21 emails from last week that are too classified to even talk about that they took off these servers. Idiot. Steve and Alan, thanks very much for joining us, sir. Welcome to the Wells Report.
Yeah, JD, you know what I wanted to talk about, right?
Sure.
Nobody overclassifies something as top secret. It just doesn't happen.
Right.
You know, I mean, you might be able to like complain about overclassification at some lower level,
right?
But if it's top secret, well,
what did now for people that don't know, Steve is a former Navy intel officer. We're really careful about, you know, what we talk about here. So what I want to ask you about is this, Steve. What went through your mind when you heard that special access program material was on her server? What did you think? My mouth literally fell open.
Exceptionally grave damage to national security. That's what went through my mind.
Wow. Grave. I agree. This is just plain nuts. I mean, and you know, there was something poignant you were saying off the air, and it was for all of us that have any of this information, you realize just how critical it is that you just shut up about it.
Yeah, like I told you off the air, I never until now did I think it was a special skill of mine that I could keep a secret.
Well, apparently it's a hell of a lot more difficult than people think. Especially those people like Hillary Clinton, for crying out loud. Sir, God bless you for all of the work that you've done. Thank you very much for your unique perspective. You've given us a lot on the Wells Report, and we hope you continue to do so as this story unfolds.
And I hope to continue to do so, God willing, and the creek don't rise.
Yeah, man. All right. God bless you, Steve. Thanks very much. You're listening to the Wells Report. Marco Rubio took a shot at Hillary Clinton that really hurt. And that story's next. You're listening to the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer.
This is David Davenport of the Hoover Institution for Townhall.com. Hamilton is the hottest show on Broadway, but its star character, Alexander Hamilton, barely gets a hearing in today's student classrooms. Civic education is the crisis you don't hear about. In the last testing, only 18% of 8th graders were proficient or better in history, and only 23% in civics or government. A poll last year showed that 77% of millennials could not name one of their U.S. senators. A 2012 survey concluded that only 1/3 of Americans could pass the civics portion of the U.S. citizenship test, while the immigrant pass rate is 97%. Other crises are getting all the attention and money, and teachers themselves do not know history. A report in January said 82% of colleges do not require even one course in civics or history. As Carly Fiorina, the only presidential candidate talking about this, put it, we are no longer educating our citizens. We must do better. I'm David Davenport.
Hi, I'm Brendan Burchard. Some people call me the world's highest paid motivational trainer, and some people call me crazy because I've just authorized a nationwide giveaway of my recent New York Times bestseller, The Motivation Manifesto. In the next 24 hours, I want to give away as many free books as possible. To get your hardcover copy, call 1-800-600-7769 or go to motivationbook.com. If you want to reach your true potential, personally, professionally, or financially, you need this book. You'll discover how to stop feeling tired and overwhelmed, identify the major enemies keeping you from living your dreams, and learn the secrets to defeating them. I'll teach you my proven strategies to start attaining the levels of drive and personal success you're craving: financial freedom, emotional freedom, time freedom. Due to high demand, I can only offer one free book per household. To get your free book while supplies last, call now, 1-800-600-7769. That's 1-800-600-7769. Or go to motivationbook.com.
People who can afford a LASIK procedure sure are lucky. Imagine being able to throw away your contacts and glasses. Imagine waking up tomorrow with 20/20 vision. Too bad everyone can't afford LASIK. Well, guess what? There's a company that agrees with you. The LASIK Vision Institute is now offering dramatically low prices on high-quality LASIK to make it affordable for everyone. That means you get the latest FDA-approved LASIK technology for a fraction of what others charge. And if you call right now, we'll schedule a free appointment so you can discover if LASIK is right for you. Results may vary. Call 1-800-700-1851. Even better, if you're one of the first 100 callers, ask about an extra 20% discount off our already low-cost services. We've already performed over 1 million procedures. Let us help you. Discover how you can get the quality LASIK experience you deserve at a fraction of what others charge. For your free appointment, call 1-800-700-1851. 1-800-700-1851.
Have you ever considered joining the military but stopped because you couldn't deploy to a foreign country? Believe it or not, the state of Texas has its own military force that stands alongside the Texas National Guard, the Texas Air National Guard, and serves only inside the state of Texas. It's called the Texas State Guard. I'm Tech Sergeant John Wells of the 4th Air Wing, and we're looking for you to join us. Give us a call at 877-398-8350. That's 877-398-8350. If you love Texas as much as we do, join the 4th Air Wing of the Texas State Guard.
The year is not so new anymore, but your carpets can look that way with Zero Res. Hey, Mark Davis, my friends at Zero Res just gave me a fantastic carpet cleaning, and I'm offering it to you. $33 a room. $33 a room by calling 214-37-CLEAN. Then, plus 100 square feet of tile cleaning for free and a $50 gift card from Estilo Gaucho. It is pre-treated, clean, and sanitized. Best carpet cleaning ever from my friends at Zero Res. $33 a room. Call them now for the special. 214-37-CLEAN for Zero Res. 214-37-CLEAN.
Geico applauds your inner happy camper.
A merit badge of awesomeness goes out to the part of you that wants to put the recreation in recreational vehicle. The part of you that packs up everything and everybody in the RV and says, let's get this show on the road. Because Geico has specialized agents who help save money on more than just car insurance. Geico will insure that entire RV, so you can get the s'more making, poison ivy dodging, same song singing, ghost storytelling, campfire building, best time you ever had with your family show on the road.
Geico for your RV. See how much you could save.
Uber is an app that helps you make extra money just for driving your car. And because it's totally flexible, you don't have to quit your day job to make more money, because you can drive and earn whenever you want. There are 3 simple steps to start making money. First, sign up for free on your phone. Second, answer a few questions and get approved. And third, start driving. So, what are you waiting for? Sign up today at drivewithuber.com. That's drivewithuber.com.
Dallas, Fort Worth's home for stimulating talk. 660 AM, The Answer. You're hearing tomorrow's front page on the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM, The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. John David Wells at your service. Coming up in just a couple of seconds, we're going to spend a little bit of time about Marco Rubio taking a shot at Hillary Clinton that really hurt the now second place finisher in the New Hampshire primary. Before we get to that, let's talk to a friend of ours here on 660 AM The Answer. The great Buddy Pilgrim joins us. He's a spokesman for Ted Cruz in Texas. Sir, welcome to the Wells Report. Good to have you back.
Thank you, John. Always a pleasure to be on with you.
Your candidate had a pretty good night insofar as Donald Trump, spent a great deal of money. Kasich spent all of his time there. Ted Cruz spent about $800,000, from what I understand, in getting some political campaign spots out, and finished a very strong third. Let's talk a little bit about that and how you feel about Ted Cruz's performance in New Hampshire.
We feel good, and actually, in campaign hard dollars, we only spent a little over $500,000. I think it's maybe $511,000 or something like that. Bush spent $36 million.
Yes,
and we beat him out.
Yeah, I mean, and this was a good showing for Governor Bush. The question is, obviously, the vote per dollar ratio is prohibitive at that rate.
Yeah, it'd be hard to get the rest of the votes all across the country spending at the level that he's spending at. This will keep him, he can stay in the race for a while. He's got money, he's got PAC money, and he performed well enough to stay in the race, and that's okay with us because that still leaves Bush and Kasich and Rubio, all three fighting for the establishment vote. It keeps it split between them, and we see the conservative vote, the true conservatives, will be coalescing around Cruz, and we're looking forward to a very positive showing in South Carolina.
Let's talk a little bit about that, buddy, because there's never going to be a better chance for Tea Party conservatives and the conservative movement in the Republican Party to have their say than support for Ted Cruz. There's just never going to be a better chance than this.
No, there hasn't been. And in fact, even though you said we want to talk about South Carolina, and I do, that's the reason Ted performed as well as he did in New Hampshire. New Hampshire is the second least religious state in the country, second only to Vermont being the least religious state in the country, thanks to Bernie and the people who support him. But when you take a state that is not religious at all, in a candidate like Cruz, who recently has been known as the evangelical candidate, that label almost overshadows how Ted got started. Because I know, John David, you remember, Ted got elected here in Texas as a Tea Party candidate.
He
and
did.
That's his roots. That's where he belongs. That's his core. It's his origin. And that's why he came in as strong as he came in New Hampshire. It goes back to his Tea Party roots. It goes back to his ability to pick up libertarians. We picked up 8 major Rand Paul libertarian endorsements this week after Rand Paul dropped out of New Hampshire. And that kind of momentum helps you stay in the game, even when you're in a state that's not, a religious state. And it's going to help us play in states all across the country that aren't known as heavy evangelical states. Ted is the Tea Party candidate, and he is the true constitutionalist in the race, the only one.
He absolutely is, and I think that is a great place. There is certainly a very wide and nice-looking boulevard to the nomination and maybe the presidency as well beyond that. The interesting thing about it is you said that Ted Cruz was indeed a Tea Party candidate. He was, and unlike Marco Rubio, when he got to the Senate, he stayed that way.
Absolutely, and he will always stay that way. That is the reason that I support Ted Cruz. I don't believe in Ted Cruz because I work for him. I work for him because I believe in him. Because, I don't think I've ever told you this story before, but I met Ted for the first time when he was running for the Senate. And I sat down in an hour and 20-minute long meeting, just the two of us, one-on-one, sitting around the table together. One of the most important questions I asked him was, will you commit to me that if you go to Washington, D.C., you will go and change it, or you will go to change it and not let it change you? I said, will you commit to me that? And then after that, he said, I will. And I said, now convince me why I should believe that. And he did convince me of that. He came through as genuine and sincere. And frankly, since he's been there, he's done it. D.C. hadn't changed him.
Well, that's a fact, and they're not happy about it either. I'm really surprised at just how many people are looking so petty in Washington, D.C. These are stalwart Republican senators and so on talking about the fact, well, it sounds like junior high school playground. Well, people just don't like him. Well, it's obvious that there might be a little bit of problem because Ted Cruz forced the Senate to actually confront the politics of what they were discussing instead of miring themselves in the politics and in the procedures that or I guess it's a fun intellectual game. It's lost on me because I'm about getting things done. I think the Senate would drive me nuts. But that being said, Ted Cruz forced a lot of votes and forced a lot of Republican senators to have to take stances that they didn't like, and they're trying to shoot back at him right now.
Well, you're absolutely correct. They're harder on him than they are on the most liberal of Democrats and the liberal president that we have sitting in the White House right now. And if Republican leadership and the Republican rank and file in the Senate and in the House, but in particular in the Senate, had stood arm in arm with Ted Cruz when he stood up against what Barack Obama was trying to do, I think Barack Obama would have had to have backed down. Barack Obama never had to back down because he always knew that the Republicans would. If he had been up against an immovable force with the Republicans standing locked arm with Ted Cruz, Barack Obama would have backed down on a bunch of things that he did.
I think you're exactly right. We're speaking with the spokesman for the Ted Cruz campaign and the National Director for Faith and Religious Liberty. Also for Ted Cruz, Buddy Pilgrim is our guest. Buddy, as we look to the future here and we see Ted Cruz in this situation, I like the fact that your analysis is that Jeb Bush, Marco Rubio, and John Kasich will split the mainstream Republican vote, which I don't think is going anywhere in this election cycle. And I think tonight's win by Don Trump pretty much puts that to rest. Now what we're seeing is now we're going to see whether the populist is going to be able to defeat the conservative, at least moving forward, because it looks to me more and more like this is a two-man race.
I think you're exactly correct. It is going to get down to being a two-man race between Trump and Cruz, and it's going to force every Republican to ask themselves, what is the evidence, not the rhetoric, the evidence that is out there that proves that Trump is a true conservative? Because the evidence leads more to believe that he's not than he is. The rhetoric is conservative. But the evidence, he contributes to Democrats. He always has. He says it's part of being a businessman. I've been a businessman for 30 years, John. I will tell you, I've never given a dime to a Democrat, and I never will.
I understand, but you don't live in New York. My situation, my situation, I know you wouldn't change if you did live in New York. I understand that. I know you. But the simple case of the matter is that, Donald Trump is and this is the thing that worries me about Donald Trump. We don't know. What you're pointing out is we don't know. Now I like what I hear. I like what he says. But when it comes right down to it, there is Donald Trump, the businessman, and now Donald Trump, the policymaker. Donald Trump, the policymaker, has been solidly conservative, or at least mostly solidly conservative, for about the last 6, 7, 8 months. That's not a lifetime. That's not a lifetime to be compared with his business life. Now, you and I both know that when somebody like Donald Trump, somebody who is from the outside, when he starts in a political chase, then he's not going to do things right. He's not going to say the right things. He's not going to come across properly. Now, that has been played perfectly by Donald Trump. But when it comes right down to it, everybody at the beginning, the Republican mainstream, was talking about how Donald Trump wasn't a serious candidate. He was terrible. He was going to destroy the Republican Party, so on and so forth. And then one day, Bob Dole came out and said he hated Ted Cruz. And suddenly everybody in the mainstream Republican Party shut up about Donald Trump. And they started focusing their vitriol on Ted Cruz. Now, does that mean that Donald Trump made a deal with mainstream Republicans? Does that mean that, say, for example, if he does get the nomination, we don't end up with a Richard Nixon style Republican with Marco Rubio as his running mate, which puts us right back into the Republican mainstream?
Yeah.
See, that's what I'm looking at.
I agree with your analysis there. I don't know if it means he made a deal, because frankly, you wouldn't have to even make a deal with the mainstream Republicans. They would just go along with Trump being that way anyway, because so many of the Republican leadership don't exhibit true dedication to conservative principles. And that's what we need. The Democrats are so much more disciplined in staying true to liberal principles. They just wanted a leader at the top of their party, Barack Obama, to allow them to live out the liberality that they already believed in, the liberal principles they believed in, and Obama allowed them to do that. Pelosi and Reid and them all, they've always been as liberal as they have been over the last few years. Now they had somebody at the top of the party to allow them to do that, and Republicans just fail time and time again to exhibit the conservative principles and stand for the conservative principles that the rhetoric says they should stand for, and that, frankly, they should stand for the good of the country.
We're speaking with Buddy Pilgrim, spokesman for Ted Cruz on 660 AM The Answer. Buddy, I want to take a look at the Democrats at this particular moment. They just said, New Hampshire just said that the best possible candidate for the Democrat Party running right this minute is a full-on Soviet-style socialist communist. Now, the Democrat Party cannot possibly be willing to allow this guy to be their standard bearer, can they?
You wouldn't think they would, but because there's so much power behind Hillary. But
you see,
the
reason
ideas that he's promoting are awfully popular with mainstream Democrats.
You see, the problem that I'm looking at here is I'm trying to figure out if the American Communist Party has essentially found a home, if not actually have taken over the Democrat Party of the United States. How could this be? How could the Democrats let that happen?
It's part of their core.
You think they just
Democrat? This is not the Democrat Party that existed 30 or 40 years ago. You know, my dad was a Democrat in the 1960s. So I grew up in a Democrat household. This isn't the same Democrat Party that existed in the 1960s. They've thrown away all of the morals that underpin their party and have become an extreme left-wing organization, not only in social policy, but in fiscal policy as well. They are becoming a socialist-style party.
There is no doubt when Deborah Wasserman Schultz could not differentiate between a Democrat and a socialist, I realized the Democrat Party had essentially fallen into the abyss. And I'm really interested in exactly what's going to happen. I think, frankly, that unless somebody else jumps in the race, Joe Biden, God forbid John Kerry, but if somebody else jumps into this race, unless somebody does, the Democrats are going to lose this election by all 50 states. They are going to get absolutely sundered in this next election.
Well, I think you're right, especially with Ted at the top of the ticket.
Hear, hear.
Because Ted has the ability to articulate why conservative solutions or conservative answers and policies are always the best solution to any opportunity or to any problem that presents itself to this country. There is not one single opportunity or problem that we will face where the liberal answer is the better solution or is even a solution for the United States versus the conservative answer. And Ted has the ability to articulate that, and that will allow him to do two things. It will allow him to defeat and wipe away the extremely liberal part of the Democrat Party. He'll go there to defeat Nancy Pelosi, not to work with her, to defeat her liberal ideology. And to the extent that there are any moderate Democrats left in the party, he will win them over like Reagan won over moderate Democrats.
Right. The return of the Blue Dogs. You know, the reason I think about all this stuff is because, you know, the thing that I want to close with you is that, once again, Tea Party Republicans have their chance. They have their man. They have the moment. They've got all of it. Because the mainstream Republican Party is going to work almost as hard as the Democrat Party to defeat Ted Cruz. But this is the chance to actually move forward with a guy who stands for all the Tea Party ideology that all of us have been supporting for about the last 10 years. I just hope that he can do what Ronald Reagan did, which was when the going got tough with the Republican Party and the Democrat Party, he went around them and went directly to the people and was able to elucidate those comments, just as you just said, that Ted Cruz is capable of doing. I certainly hope he's able to do that. You get the last word.
I think he will be able to do that. We all need to keep our eyes on South Carolina and Nevada. We're going to do well in Nevada. We think we'll do extremely well in South Carolina. I don't say that taking anything for granted. In fact, the reason I think we'll do well in South Carolina is because this campaign doesn't take anything for granted. We work every single vote. We work every county. and we have thousands of volunteers, and we are more ready for Super Tuesday than any other candidate out there.
Buddy Pilgrim and Ted Cruz. Hang on, buddy. I want to say hi to you. TedCruz.org is how you can find out more. TedCruz.org. This Buddy Pilgrim, spokesman for the Ted Cruz campaign, national director for faith and religious liberty for Ted Cruz, taking time out of an incredibly busy and long day to share with us his thoughts. You're listening to the Wells Report on 660 AM The Answer.
Hey, does the idea of having your home sold on time without hassle and for top dollar, does that seem unrealistic to you? Hey, Dallas, it's your friend Sean Hannity, one real estate agent to sell your home guaranteed. That's Josh DeShong of Josh DeShong Real Estate at Keller Williams. Josh averages hundreds of local, national, and international buyers every single week. Now, that means your home sells on time at a price that you agreed to, guaranteed, or Josh will buy it. Josh's clients voted, and both D Magazine and Texas Monthly ranked him as the best real estate agent in Dallas. Real estate mogul and Shark Tank star Barbara Corcoran only recommends Josh in DFW. And if I lived in Dallas and needed my home sold, guess what? I'd call Josh DeShong, and you should too. Call Josh now at 972-325-6644 or go online at getsold.net. That's 972-325-6644 or getsold.net and start packing.
Do you have friends and family who have met on eHarmony? Have you heard firsthand some of our great relationship stories? This is eHarmony founder Dr. Neil Clark Warren, and maybe you've thought, I wonder if I should finally try eHarmony. Well, now's the perfect time. Our free communication weekend is on this Wednesday through Monday only. Free communication means you get unprecedented access to eHarmony, including sending messages to people who interest you. It's truly the first step in finding that perfect someone to make you really happy. And this weekend, you can start for free. eHarmony makes 10 million matches per day based on our signature matching system. We match on qualities that really count in a happy relationship. So what are you waiting for? Visit eHarmony and connect for free this Wednesday through Monday only.
The following is an incredible, life-changing free offer for anyone with hearing problems who wants to start hearing everything more clearly again. We are now offering free in-home trials of a revolutionary hearing breakthrough called Listen Clear to anyone who calls this special toll-free number now, 1-800-953-9975. Call in the next 10 minutes and you'll also qualify for free shipping and free batteries for life. Listen Clear is precisely designed by top audio engineers. It adjusts to let you find the perfect way to hear everything, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. And Listen Clear is so invisible, people may not even know you're wearing it. And it's so lightweight, you may even forget you're wearing it too. Don't miss this special life-changing opportunity to hear everything more clearly again for free with a 100% free in-home trial, free shipping, and even free batteries for life. For free information, call now. 1-800-953-9975. That's 1-800-953-9975. 1-800-953-9975.
There's no doubt Christians are facing strong persecution all across the world. There's a war on Christianity. Just as recently as this past November in Rwanda, Muslim groups were buying up all the Bibles they could find and burning them so that no one could read and learn the message inside. In these small villages, it's hard enough for local churches to have even one Bible for their pastor. And now they're all burned for no one to read. You can help though. You can provide a Bible to a church pastor in one of these African communities for only $15 with Harvesters. Harvesters' mission is to plant churches in these lost communities by providing Bibles to the church pastors, teaching them sound instruction, and multiplying their church. Some of these pastors have to walk miles a day to find a Bible, memorize the passage, and then walk all the way back to preach to their church. But you can make sure that these pastors have a Bible in their own language with Harvesters. Learn more by going to 660amtheanswer.com and clicking on the Harvesters banner today.
Check, please. No, I got it. That's the second time this week. Did you get a raise? Nope, I got a refi on my car loan with EECU Credit Union. Can I get one too? Sure, just call 800-849-9977. They'll beat your current APR by 2% and lower your payment. 2%? Heck, with that kind of money, I could buy lunch for you and get that new 50-inch TV. Yeah, I was paying 5% APR and they took me down to 3% APR. Plus, I got up to 90 days to make my first payment. No wonder the leading consumer magazine just ranked EECU highest among credit unions in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
But you're not a teacher.
You don't have to be a teacher to refinance your car loan with EECU. Just call 800-849-9977 or visit eecu.org/660. Tell them your current APR, and as long as you've had your loan at least 90 days, they'll beat it by 2%.
Can't beat that.
But hurry, it's a limited time offer. Call 800-849-9977 or visit eecu.org/660.
Subject to credit approval. Floor rate is 2.25 annual percentage rate. Membership required. Not valid with loans currently financed with the ECU. Additional terms and conditions apply. Call 800-849-9977 for details.
Learn a little something at the start of your day. The Mark Davis Show. Mornings 7 to 10 on 660 AM. The Answer. Isn't thinking so much more fun than getting yelled at? The Wells Report on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. By the way, critics of the Obama administration are focusing on Attorney General Loretta Lynch's political campaign contributions in the last 10 years. In about the last 10 years, she's given $10,000 to Democrats. Republicans are calling for a special prosecutor to monitor the probe of Hillary Clinton's emails. Conservatives are pouncing on the past campaign contributions as evidence of bias. I don't know that this is the case. It's easy to say terrible things about Loretta Lynch. It's easy to say that. It's easy to say tough things about Loretta Lynch. She's in a really tough spot. But everybody that I talked to before she became the Attorney General and before she had some very unfortunate interview moments on national television, they said that this was a straight up lady who believed in the law before politics. I'm not ready to write her off yet, but I will tell you that it is disturbing that she has spent so much money supporting Democrats over the years. Again, that's America. It's what you get to do. But I believe that at least Loretta Lynch, if she believes a special prosecutor is necessary to bring this case home, she'll do that. I don't think she's going to sweep it under the rug. I don't think she'll allow herself to do it. And we'll see whether I'm right or wrong as the days continue to unwind. More about that hassle with Marco Rubio and Hillary Clinton next. This is the Wells Report.
Sean Hannity is feeling the burn.
I'm with them. I want Bernie to get the nomination. I'm all for it. So I'm going to be nice to Bernie.
Are you saying that you're feeling the burn?
I'm feeling the burn, baby, burn. Little disco inferno. I'm feeling it for Bernie. I think Bernie would be great, just because it would be so entertaining to watch Hillary lose.
Hey, John, Dave.
Be careful what you wish for, Hannity.
The Sean Hannity Show. Afternoons at 2, right before Michael Medved at 5 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Hey, everybody, Mark Davis from my friends at Walker AC. The AC stands for air conditioning. It'll be a little while before we need that again. In the meantime, it's heat that is at issue. And let me tell you, Walker AC is my heating company as well. Walker Air Conditioning and Heating at walkerac.com, and the magic phone number 972-4, Walker, 972-4-Walker. These are the people to go to when your system needs fixing, when your system needs replacing. They're never going to sell you a system you don't need. They're going to do the repairs right at a fair price. If they can't fix it, they'll tell you about it and introduce you to the best price on the best system for you. It's people you can trust. Isn't that what it's all about? Trust with AC and heating, and Walker AC is there for you at walkerac.com and 972-4-WALKER, 972, the number 4, Walker. If something's just not working right, if things are chilly when they shouldn't be, your heater's not working, give them a call, 972-4, the number 4, Walker, 972-4-WALKER, or walkerac.com.
Our sister station, 94.9 KLTY and the Dallas Baptist University Concert Series proudly welcomes the Road Show to the American Airlines Center February 12th with Jeremy Camp, the Newsboys, Mandisa, Phil Wickham, Family Force 5, Citizen Way, Danny Goki, and Sean Groves. Get your tickets at Ticketmaster.com or at American Airlines Center. Reserve seats are $20 or at the door the day of for $10. VIP tickets on sale now at theroadshowtour.com, February 12th.
Why should your next mattress be a Sovereign mattress? A, it's more durable. No sags, no body impressions. B, it's more comfortable. Custom tailored for greater comfort. And C, for you tree huggers out there, organic and free of harmful chemicals. Superior comfort and durability with made in America prices. Sovereign European Sleep Systems. In Dallas and Southlake. Learn more at SOVN.com.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Carmen Roberts. The winners are...
I am going to be the greatest jobs president that God ever created. Remember that.
Thank you, New Hampshire. And now it's on to Nevada, South Carolina, and beyond.
Donald Trump and Bernie Sanders riding a wave of voter frustration to victory in New Hampshire. Governor Chris Christie's headed home to New Jersey to take a breath.
It's going to take a while to count these votes. So we want to see exactly what happens. And so we're going to go home to New Jersey to wait. By tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, we should know.
He's projected to finish sixth. John Kasich taking second place, and Jeb Bush calling him a one-state candidate. Bush is battling for third place with Ted Cruz and Marco Rubio. And a 6.3 magnitude earthquake strikes Chile's central region, shaking buildings as far away as the capital of Santiago. Fox News, we report, you decide.
660 AM, The Answer.
Hi, this is Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor. I'd like for you to join me on my talk show this weekend. What I do is teach people how to go the natural, organic route. I stir up trouble, too, because I throw out some things that a lot of people just don't think are correct. You know what? We have a lot of experience to back up what we recommend. Have healthier gardens and more fun gardening. Join me this and every weekend.
Join Howard Garrett, the Dirt Doctor, every Sunday morning from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. right here on 660 a.m. The Answer.
We've had some voting. We've had some debating. Now it's time for Texans to weigh in on the 2016 presidential race. The candidates are ready. Our state is ready. The question is, are you ready for the final debate before the Texas primary?
I know I'm ready, JD, and we're hoping everybody's fired up for our last debate watch party before Texas votes. It's Thursday night, February 25th, and we'll put it up on the big screen at 660 a.m. The Answer debate headquarters, Studio Movie Grill, 75 in Spring Valley in Dallas.
Mark Davis and I will be your hosts. The full Studio Movie Grill menu is available. Admission is just $10. Get your tickets now at 660amtheanswer.com. If you've become a regular for our debate events, or if this is just your first time, get ready to hear from the candidates and the audience.
We look forward to welcoming you and hearing from you February 25th. Studio Movie Grill, 75 in Spring Valley. Tickets just $10 now at 660amtheanswer.com.
Don't miss the final debate watch party before the Texas primary. That's Thursday, February 25th at the Studio Movie Grill in Dallas. This event is sponsored by AAA Auger Plumbing Services and Texas Alliance for Life.
Hi, I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. Well, it's that time of year again. When the AC business is slow, the gimmicks start to flow. Right now, you'll hear 50% off sales, warehouse clearance sales, and my personal favorite, the guy who says he'll work for no profit. Nobody can run a business without profit. So rather than insult your intelligence with silly gimmicks, we partnered with the utility provider to offer real instant rebates, up to $1,800 off qualifying systems. But the utility funds are limited, so we're offering our free estimates on a first-come, first-served basis. If you need a new AC system, call the no-profit guy, then call the 50% off guys, and then call us. I guarantee we'll beat their price with brand-name Carrier equipment because we've been gimmick-free since '83. Our number's 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437, or visit us online at ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning, call 877-YOUR-HERO.
It's Mark Davis for my friends at Good Feet. One of the reasons it's such a joy to hang out with these folks is they have such great stories of helping people who have tried other things that did not work. And getting out of foot pain is a thing of joy to behold. Ask them at Plano, Fort Worth, and Southlake, the 3 locations of Good Feet, or go to goodfeetdfw.com. Listen, as one of the good folks at Good Feet talks about what it's like to help people, to watch them come in for a solution that actually works.
For most of the people that walk in our store, it's been an ongoing, nonstop issue. They're searching, they're grasping at straws because they've been trying other products and they've bought something that they thought was going to help solve their problem, and it didn't.
The good people of Good Feet with solutions that are real, not the plasticky gel, one-size-fits-most nonsense. Nope, but the sizes, the styles for men, for women. Get out of pain today. That foot pain can become back pain, hip pain, leg pain. GoodFeetDFW.com, Plano, Fort Worth, or Southlake. GoodFeetDFW.com. Check them out today.
Would you like the security of a 30-year fixed rate mortgage refi with our lowest payment possible, all without paying closing costs?
Well, Cash Call Mortgage has a 30-year rate special starting at a rate so low, our lawyer won't let us say it on the radio. So call and find out how much this 30-year rate will cut your monthly payment while still knocking down your current loan balance. And the best part of all is the rate is fixed. The lawyer's right. It's a little complicated to explain on the radio. So call 855-875-CASH to find out how it works.
What? You'll cut my payment with no fees of any kind, and my balance will still go down?
Yep, paying an interest rate below 3% really makes a big difference. To find out how big, just call 855-875-CASH. That's 855-875-CASH to slice your monthly payment now.
Impact Mortgage Corp. DBA Cash Call Mortgage. 1 City Boulevard, Orange, California, 92868. Equal housing lender. Call 855-657-9910 for licensing terms and restrictions. NMLS 128231. Offer for first mortgage.
That's 855-875-CASH.
Hi, I'm Tom Kidd, engineering graduate of Texas A&M and owner of Structured Foundation Repairs. Our number is 972-484-1200. Our motto is to do the right thing. In some respects, it's hard being the company that always does the right thing. But for our customers' sake, it's very important that we do. Being fully insured, as an example, costs us a lot of money, but it protects our customers. Having employees instead of day laborers is a huge responsibility, but our dedicated employees ensure that we do the best repairs we can. Managing a large office staff can be tedious, but they provide our customers a helpful voice when they need something urgent. Returning every phone call is time-consuming, but instills our customers with confidence that we will always be there when they need us. The Aggie Code of Honor states that Aggies don't lie, cheat, or steal, or tolerate those that do. That code was the principle our company was founded on, and it guides our daily operations. If this sounds like the kind of company you could trust to repair your foundation, call us today for a free evaluation at 972-484-1200 or click structuredfoundation.com.
Listen to us live on iHeartRadio, 660 AM. The Answer. Is anybody out there paying attention to what's going on in this country, in this state, and in this city? We know one man who is. You got questions? He's got answers. This is the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. Our telephone number is 866-660-5759. Stephen Hayes of the Weekly Standard is reporting that the spending looks like this for all the Republican candidates. Jeb Bush spent $36 million in New Hampshire. Chris Christie spent $18.5 million. Rubio spent $15.2 million. Governor Kasich, who finished second, spent $12.1 million. Donald Trump spent $3.7 million. Carly Fiorina spent $1.8 million. And the guy who finished third, Ted Cruz, spent $580 million. $580 million. No, I'm sorry. That's not correct. $580,000. Yeah, that's what it was, because that's basically what Buddy Pilgrim was just telling us. He spent $500,000. Well, Stephen Hayes is saying that $580,000 was spent between Ted Cruz and Super PAC spending. And he had the lowest spending of any of the candidates, and he finished third. Awesome. Completely awesome. Sorry, I got that wrong. So there you go. I couldn't believe my eyes when I was looking at 1.8 M, 3.7 M, and then I saw 580K, and I'm going, $580,000? Is that really? Yeah, that's really what he spent. So fret not, Ted Cruz in fine fettle, finishing third. By the way, 87% of the precincts are reporting things are tightening up just a little bit. Ted Cruz still in third, Bush still in fourth, and Marco Rubio still in fifth. However, they are all covered with 11% of the vote. So things are tightening up with 87% of the precincts reporting Rubio, Bush, and Cruz, all with 11%, although the actual vote totals have them in the proper order. So just thought I'd bring that up to you. 866-660-5759, 866-660-5759. This was very interesting from a standpoint of how Hillary reacted to this. Now, Republicans say Marco Rubio is too pro-life to become the Republican nominee. I don't think that's the case. Rubio is keeping pro-life issues front and center, but he's taking it to likely Democrat nominee Hillary Clinton. In new remarks, Rubio says that Clinton is a real extremist on the issue of abortion. Rubio says Hillary Clinton would allow abortions until a baby's due date, as she opposed bills to ban late-term abortions and appears to not support any limits on abortion whatsoever. Hillary Clinton is an extremist on this issue, the Florida Republican said. She believes there should be no such thing as an illegal abortion, even on the due date. Now, the interesting thing about that is that immediately everybody attacked him. I don't know why. Why would everybody on the left attack him? What he's doing is he's putting it right in front of everyone. And everybody is essentially panicking, especially Hillary Clinton. Now, Rubio really jumped all over this, and Hillary is one of those persons that has a real problem defending herself from this. As a matter of fact, she can't. What ended up happening is that this stuck to Hillary. This is what happens when Planned Parenthood, a notorious baby milling project, gives you their endorsement for president. As hard as this is to deal with, as heart-rending an issue as this is, only for Republicans, by the way, Democrats think it's a wonderful, joyous celebration of whatever, women's health. Okay, whatever you want to call it. But when Planned Parenthood, a notorious baby milling operation, comes out and says, you're the best choice for president, this kind of stuff sticks to you. Hillary Clinton was very upset about that. And this is Marco Rubio saying that he is not the extremist when it comes to this particular issue. Hillary Clinton is. And Hillary's in trouble on this topic because she can't hide. She can't hide from it. And if she can't hide from it, this is a situation that will stick coming up a little bit later on in her life. And I think it should. There's one other thing that's going on here that we have to talk about before we move away from politics for the last half hour of the show, and that is this. Michael Bloomberg has been talking about running for the presidency in 2016 as an independent. According to the American Conservative posted by Daniel Larson yesterday, Bloomberg running is an awful idea, and it isn't going away. Bloomberg told the American Conservative that he would need to start putting his name on ballots across the U.S. at the beginning of March. I'm listening to what the candidates are saying and what the primary voters appear to be doing. His entry would radically affect the election, which has already been upended by the anti-establishment campaigns of Trump and Sanders. Many experts believe that Mr. Bloomberg would help the Republican nominee by drawing more support from Democrats over Republicans because of his liberal stance on issues like gun control and the environment, immigration, all kinds of things. The more I think about a Bloomberg candidacy, says Daniel Larson, the harder it is for me to see how he has that much of an impact on the race. Yes, he could take away some votes from both major party nominees. He would likely get relatively greater support from Democrats and Democrat-leading independents. But how many people would be interested in a candidate promising technocratic paternalism while defending corporate interests? I suspect there are very few people that would actually prefer him. And it seems true if Trump and Sanders ended up as nominees of the major parties. If Trump and Sanders are riding on a wave of revulsion with both Washington and Wall Street, Bloomberg would represent much of what their supporters hate most about our political system. If this election had been defined by popular rejection of the elite consensus, Bloomberg would be joining the race as the champion of the consensus millions of people are repudiating, while he wouldn't have the personal baggage Clinton has. His views seem guaranteed to make him unacceptable to just about everybody else. True, but he's not going away. Now, what does this say? What does this actually say? What is actually being communicated here? What's being communicated here is Hillary Clinton is a terrible candidate that's getting worse. The reality of a Hillary Clinton candidacy is slowly becoming apparent to Democrat voters. So much so that either many of them are staying home or many of them are voting for Bernie Sanders. Mostly the kids are voting for Bernie Sanders because they don't know any better, because their university educations don't tell them about the ravages of a socialist state. And the reason is because the people who are teaching the classes are not familiar with the ravages of a Soviet state. They seem to be inured with the fact that, by golly, you know what? It wasn't bad for university teachers in the Soviet Union. I assure you, it was bad for everyone in the Soviet Union, even university teachers. You know, if you like somebody looking over your shoulder telling you what to say when, and writing papers that say the same thing over and over and over again so that you can get a nice little ribbon to wear on your suit, then yeah, I suppose you'd be okay as a college professor in a Soviet-style system. But the entire nation suffers under those circumstances. The only people that do well are the top 10% of the government, and that's it. Now, that's a lot of people because the government is just about everywhere. But if you're 20-something and you're thinking that Bernie Sanders is the key to your future, you're wrong. Bernie Sanders is the key to him being your future. In other words, he's going to dictate your future to you. If you like that, then you need to move to a different country, because my kid is going to want to be able to succeed on his or her own merits. That's what I'm thinking. And if you can't handle that, that's fine. You can't figure out a way to get a job somewhere. You can't figure out how to reconfigure your college education so that you actually have a chance to make some money when you get out, then that's your problem. You know, while you're learning women's studies, sociology, I don't know what else, you know, why Republicans are the spawn of Satan. I think that's an actual course. That's an actual course with a Bachelor of Science degree. I think that's from Berkeley. If that's what you want to take, that's fine. Colton wants to be an aerospace engineer. I'm thinking he might be able to make a living right off the bat. But then again, you have to work really, really hard for that degree. You don't have to just cogitate and mealy-mouthed garbage about, you know, how women are superior in everything or how men are stupid in every other thing. And there's so many things in these soft majors, you know, like sociology, psychology, women's studies, etc., that they're just basically anti-male. So if you hate men, you can get a degree pretty easy. And if that's what you've done, I hope you enjoy being a waiter at P.F. Chang's. But the rest of the people in your age group and slightly younger, the people coming out of high school, they're beginning to realize they're going to have to work hard. And they're going to have to learn something that people want to have. And if you studied garbage, that's your business, but don't ruin it for those people that don't. That's my message for the millennials. The other thing I want to tell you about is that Michael Bloomberg is standing there trying to egg on somebody in the Democrat Party to run for office.
Special report.
Hillary Clinton is not going to make it. Bernie Sanders is not going to be the nominee for president of the Democrat Party. Somebody else is going to have to come off the bench, and they had better get with it. I imagine that depending on what happens in South Carolina, if Hillary Clinton loses in South Carolina, I would imagine that there are going to be a couple of people joining the race from the Democrat side. If I wasn't blinded by Hillary Clinton's personality, like Deborah Wasserman Schultz, the current chairman of the Democrat Party, I'd already have people warming up in the bullpen. But then again, if I was in that, I'd want to win instead of just stroking Hillary Clinton's ego. You're listening to the Wells Report. This is 660 AM The Answer. Now let's find out what the special report is this hour from SRN.
This is an SRN News special report, the New Hampshire primary. I'm Linda Kenyon in Washington. Donald Trump comes in first for the GOP. John Kasich, a strong second-place finisher.
Kasich devoted most of his time and resources here in New Hampshire, and voters supported his positive campaign message.
We never went negative because we have more good to sell than to spend our time being critical of somebody else.
Polling shows the Ohio governor did best with voters looking for a candidate with political experience. Greg Clugston, Concord, New Hampshire.
For the Democrats, Bernie Sanders enjoyed a strong first-place finish, and he thanked his staff and volunteers for making it happen.
We won because of your energy. Thank you all so much.
Hillary Clinton was gracious in her defeat, but said she will continue to fight for the nomination, adding she will fight harder than anyone. This has been an SRN News special report.
Dennis Prager warns of polling results.
It is worth noting that polling is becoming less scientific, not more, because people don't pick up the phone. I don't. If it's a number I don't know, I don't pick it up. And the people who pick up the phones may not be representative.
The Dennis Prager Show, weekdays at noon, right before Sean Hannity at 2 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Checkity doo-dah, checkity A. It's time for Promage. For those people that are watching on television, this is where I do promos. And instead of like most people that do radio promos or television promos, I sort of speak extemporaneously, so there are a lot of outtakes. It's not that I'm stupid. It's just that I do a lot of outtakes until I get a brilliant promo. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. So just exactly what happened in New Hampshire last night. We're going to discuss that and what's going to happen today because of what happened last night in the New Hampshire primary. I'm John David Wells. Do not forget to join us on the Wells Report tonight between 8 and midnight. We're going to bring you the very latest on just exactly what the New Hampshire primary meant to the people that didn't finish so close to the top. Next time on the Wells Report. Mark Davis, good Wednesday morning, brother. Thanks very much for letting us drop by and say hello and tell people what's coming up on the Wells Report. What an amazing New Hampshire primary last night. John Kasich actually finished second, but more than doubling his vote total was Donald Trump, an amazing source of strength. Donald Trump, an amazing show of strength. And you know what? He's really got some momentum going into South Carolina. If he wins 2 or 3 or 4 more of these, I think it's just about over, but we will see. Ted Cruz was right there too. We'll go through all of it and today's developments as well based on last night's happening in New Hampshire. Next time on the Wells Report.
The secret is activated oxygen. It flows through your system, destroying bacteria, viruses, and germs in no time. Call SoClean.com to get your risk-free 30-day trial while supplies last. Hurry, call 1-800-693-2699. 1-800-693-2699.
Hey everybody, Mark Davis, my friends at Viascan of Las Colinas. Here's something to put on the to-do list for 2016. How about saving somebody's life? How about your own? Oh, how can we do that? Well, you can go to Viascan of Las Colinas or recommend that somebody you love go to Viascan of Las Colinas. Why? Because in that magnificent business, John Duncan and the crew are saving lives every day simply by showing them what's going on inside their own bodies. You ever hear of somebody dying with no sign, no advance warning of a heart attack or cancer? Well, the reason that happens is nobody takes a look at what's going on in their own bodies. Viascan of Las Colinas. It's what they're all about. This scan technology has been around forever. Crazy expensive, but not at Viascan of Las Colinas. Heart scans, body scans looking at cancers, the carotid artery neck scan for stroke risk, all of these things made affordable for you so that you can live. Find out what's going on in your body. Be what they call Viascan certain. 972-739-2840, 972-739-2840, or just Google Viascan.
It's a new year, a new you, and new open carry laws here in the great state of Texas. The last few months have shown us that the world can be a dangerous place, but there are some stores that are here to make sure you are safe. At Texas Gun Pros, we like to make gun safety, gun education, and gun buying a non-intimidating experience. That way, you can focus on how you can protect yourself and your family in 2016. You don't want to be talked down to. You just want to exercise your Second Amendment right. At Texas Gun Pros, we want to help you regardless of your experience level. From beginning handgun classes to the new license to carry, our professionals will work with you at your level to accomplish your training goals. You live in a state that focuses on your individual safety, so why not go to the gun pros of that state? Texas Gun Pros. Visit us on the web at texasgunpros.com or stop by our facility at 5121 Davis Boulevard in North Richland Hills. That's texasgunpros.com.
Our sister station, KLTY, presents Pink Impact. From all over the nation, women are coming together to laugh, to cry, to celebrate. On May 13th and 14th, it's time to join together at the Fort Worth Convention Center for Pink Impact, featuring best-selling author, Bible teacher, and star of the hit movie War Room, Priscilla Shire, with Christine Kane, Charlotte Gamble, and more. Worship with Carrie Job. We are the light of the world. For tickets, go to pinkimpact.com. That's pinkimpact.com.
This is 660 AM. The Answer. Now, the Wells Report with John David Wells on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. And so Michael Bloomberg is showing the Democrat Party that they have work to do for 2016, right this minute. Now, I believe the powers that be in the Democrat Party, except, of course, for the true, believers, the plungers, the people that just believe that whatever is a D is for them. I believe that they realized that they were going to have a real tough time winning the presidency this time around because of the damage that President Obama has done to the Democrat brand. It was brought up a couple of years ago and is quickly shushed. But President Obama has badly hurt the Democrat Party. It's going to be a long time before they recover. And if you're in a situation where you're running the Democrat Party and you are hard and you are cold and you are simply willing to deal pragmatically with the realities at hand, then what you do is you do essentially with Hillary Clinton what you did with Bill Clinton. Nobody expected Bill Clinton to beat George H.W. Bush. So what they ended up doing was they just put a charismatic guy out there with a wisecracking attitude, and they sought just to see what he could do. And that's how we got President Bill Clinton. I guess they figured it was going to work again with another Clinton with none of the charisma, none of the charm, and basically none of the real intelligence when it comes to running as a presidential candidate. She should have been friendly. She should have been witty. She should have been pleasant. But she's a hard ass. That's what she likes. She wants to be a hard ass. She wants to be powerful. She wants to tell people what to do. She wants to hold people in contempt, and you can see it. And that's what's causing her to have such incredible difficulty running for president this time around. So I don't know that the presidency, I don't know that the Democrat Party is really concerned about her losing. But now they're in a real problem because they figured that she was at least going to be able to beat Bernie Sanders. Now, there's a long way to go. Bernie's got an awful lot of really tough campaigning to do if he's going to beat Hillary Clinton. But getting close in Iowa and just absolutely defeating Hillary in New Hampshire means that if she doesn't start winning immediately, somebody's going to come off the bench. I'm betting Joe Biden. Joe would at least be somebody that would not get devastatingly defeated in the next election. He'll be defeated, but I think he'd take one for the team. And I think that would be the story. because Joe Biden is incomplete in many, many ways. He is not a president at all. That he rose to the office of vice president, I think, was a sincere and beautiful gift by the Democrat Party. And I think what they would do is ask him to take this because the Democrat Party needs to not be embarrassed in this next election. Because if either Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders happens to be the standard bearer, embarrassment is going to be the most kind word you can say what happens in the 2016 election. This is the Wells Report.
The Mark Davis Show.
As we learned in Iowa, winning is great, but who finishes in what order behind the winners can be a big story too. Certainly the case post New Hampshire. So join us for a Wednesday morning look at how the deck is shuffled, moving towards South Carolina, and of course Texas. We vote in 3 weeks. Stakes are high, so are the expectations for a lot of candidates moving forward. Your New Hampshire reactions on the Wednesday show.
The Mark Davis Show. Weekday mornings at 7, right before Mike Gallagher at 10 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Are you ready to take your education to the next level? Arizona State University now offers more than 100 top-tier degree programs, 100% online. With ASU's highly ranked online programs, you'll earn the same degree as our on-campus students, with the ability to learn wherever you want, whenever you want. Same world-renowned faculty, same leading education, same global recognition from one of the top universities in the world. Call 1-800-581-3263. That's 1-800-581-3263.
I'm Jamie from Sherman Oaks, and I just graduated with my degree from Arizona State University. I chose ASU because I received the quality education I deserved in the major I wanted, all from my home.
Jamie's not the only one to earn a degree from ASU. There are over 100 degree programs offered 100% online from one of the top universities. Now's the time to learn more about earning your degree online from Arizona State University. Call 1-800-581-3263. That's 1-800-581-3263.
Hi, I'm Jeff Stewart with Reliant Air Conditioning. Well, it's that time of year again. When the AC business is slow, the gimmicks start to flow. Right now, you'll hear 50% off sales, warehouse clearance sales, and my personal favorite, the guy who says he'll work for no profit. Nobody can run a business without profit. So rather than insult your intelligence with silly gimmicks, we partnered with the utility provider to offer real instant rebates, up to $1,800 off qualifying systems. But the utility funds are limited, so we're offering our free estimates on a first-come, first-served basis. If you need a new AC system, call the no-profit guy, then call the 50% off guys, and then call us. I guarantee we'll beat their price with brand-name Carrier equipment because we've been gimmick-free since '83. Our number's 877-YOUR-HERO. That's 877-968-7437, or visit us online at ReliantAirConditioning.com.
Reliant Air Conditioning. Call 877-YOUR-HERO.
We are visiting our friend Chef Tom Fleming at Crossroads Diner. What do you have cooking today, Tom?
Have you had a chicken piccata? Come on, say it with me. Piccata. Haven't heard of it? Sorry for you, bro. We pan-sear our own chicken and lemon and capers in a sauce so good, you want to swim in it. We call it the backstroke sauce. But the real stars of the dish are the herb-roasted Yukon potatoes. Trust me, you won't know what you want more of, the chicken or the tater.
Fresh ingredients sure to please any sophisticated palate and taste at affordable diner prices in a casual environment. Crossroads Diner. Come eat with us at our new location, now at the corner of Preston and Campbell in the Kroger Shopping Center. Open for breakfast and lunch Tuesday through Sunday, 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Or visit them on the web at crossroadsdiner.com. Home-style goodness meets traditional diner. Great recipes, fresh ingredients, comfortable environment, and genuine hospitality are the heart and soul of Crossroads Diner. We'll be waiting for you.
Check, please. No, I got it. That's the second time this week. Did you get a raise? Nope. I got a refi on my car loan with EECU Credit Union. Can I get one too? Sure. Just call 800-849-9977. They'll beat your current APR by 2% and lower your payment. 2%? Heck, with that kind of money, I could buy lunch for you and get that new 50-inch TV. Yeah, I was paying 5% APR and they took me down to 3% APR. Plus, I got up to 90 days to make my first payment. No wonder the leading consumer magazine just ranked EECU highest among credit unions in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. But you you're not a teacher. You don't have to be a teacher to refinance your car loan with EECU. Just call 800-849-9977 or visit eecu.org/660. Tell them your current APR, and as long as you've had your loan at least 90 days, they'll beat it by 2%. Can't beat that. But hurry, it's a limited time offer. Call 800-849-9977 or visit eecu.org/660.
Subject to credit approval. Floor rate is 2.25 annual percentage rate. Membership required. Not valid with loans currently financed with the ECU. Additional terms and conditions apply. Call 800-849-9977 for details.
Why should your next mattress be a Sovereign mattress? A, it's more durable. No sags, no body impressions. B, it's more comfortable. Custom tailored for greater comfort. And C, for you tree huggers out there, organic and free of harmful chemicals. Superior comfort and durability with made in America prices. Sovereign European Sleep Systems. In Dallas and Southlake. Learn more at sovn.com.
660 AM. The Answer. The Wells Report. Must hear radio on 660 AM. The Answer.
You are listening to the Wells Report. My name is John David Wells. A couple of things on the war on terror that I want to go over tonight. I'm watching this war on terror becoming more and more and more virulent, and I'm just still working my way through the mission of the broadcast, which is to make sure that you're aware of what's going on and what might be something you have to deal with. There's a little bit of responsibility here that goes with this because I don't want to scare you to death. But I'm going to put together a couple of things here that might cause you a little bit of heartburn. The nation's top intelligence official confirmed today that Islamic State has succeeded in making and deploying chemical weapons in Iraq and Syria, calling it the first such attack by an extremist group in more than 2 decades. The last extremist group that attacked a general population with chemical weapons was AUM in the Tokyo subways. The Tokyo subways are filled to the brim with people every day. AUM had a primitive version of sarin gas that was more like sarin jelly. And they had various packages of it that they scattered throughout subway trains and so on and so on. As I said, it was a primitive version of one of the most horrific weapons ever created by man. If they had properly weaponized their weapon before they used it, everyone in the Tokyo subway would have died. Everyone. As it turns out, most of the people that died were AUM operatives that were actually deploying the gas. And sadly, police officers and security forces that tried to figure out just exactly what that material was and got too close to it. Some of them even touching it. Death warrant. The confirmation of mustard gas use came during the Director of National Intelligence, James Clapper's testimony before the Senate Armed Services Committee, where he spoke to the Islamic State's growing sophistication online and in the battlefield. He did not elaborate on when and where chemical attacks occurred, though there has been mounting evidence the terror group was experimenting with chemical weapons. The Syrian government used chemical weapons against the opposition on multiple occasions since Syria joined the Chemical Weapons Convention. ISIL has also used toxic chemicals in Iraq and Syria, including a blister agent, sulfur mustard, according to Clapper. This marks the first time an extremist group has produced and used a chemical warfare agent in an attack since AUM Shinkyo used sarin in Japan in 1995. Fox News previously reported on ISIS potential experimentation with chemical weapons. Photos taken by the Kurds in northern Iraq last summer and reviewed by Fox News showed burns and blisters on the skin following exposure to odorless, colorless agents absorbed through the clothing. A doctor who was in northern Iraq last year said he treated Kurdish fighters whom ISIS used as lab rats for WMD, adding the variety of burns and illnesses suggested mustard gas, precursors, as well as neurotoxic acids. Oh, God. The Japan attack that Clapper referred to in his testimony occurred in March of 1995. Perpetrators hailing from the cult Aum, and it's Shinrikyo, launched 5 coordinated sarin gas attacks on the Tokyo subway, killing 12, severely injuring 50, and leaving some 1,000 people with temporary vision impairment. Clapper dropped the last revelation amid discussions of other worldwide national security threats, including North Korea, which he said has expanded a uranium enrichment facility and started a plutonium reactor that could start recovering material for nuclear weapons in weeks or months. Meantime, Clapper told the Senate Armed Services Committee that Islamic militants will continue plotting against U.S. interests overseas, and homegrown attacks will pose the most significant threat from violent extremists to Americans at home. In fact, he said that the Islamic State will almost certainly remain a threat in the U.S. homeland and seek to launch or inspire attacks on American soil in 2016. Attacks in the U.S. by the group known as ISIL will probably continue to involve those who draw inspiration from the group's highly sophisticated media without direct guidance from ISIL leadership, said Clapper. Testifying with Clapper was the director of the Defense Intelligence Agency, Marine Lieutenant General Vincent Stewart, CIA Director John Brennan, FBI Director James Comey, Navy Admiral Michael Rogers, who heads the National Security Agency. Clapper called Islamic State the preeminent terrorist threat. It can direct and inspire attacks against a wide range of targets around the world, in a world where violent extremists are active in 40 countries. ISIL is using the collapse of government authority to expand. The July attacks against military facilities in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and San Bernardino, California, demonstrate the threat that homegrown violent extremists also pose to the homeland. General Vincent Stewart from the Defense Intelligence Agency said Islamic State will probably conduct additional attacks in Europe, then attempt the same in the U.S. U.S. intelligence agencies believe that ISIL leaders will be increasingly involved in directing attacks rather than just encouraging lone attackers. The leaders also listed other threats facing the nation. Al-Qaeda, which spawned Islamic State, remains an enemy. The United States will face disparate threats from conflicts spurred by fights over scarce resources caused by climate change and global warming. It's ridiculous. In addition, the nation's cyber infrastructure remains vulnerable to attack by terrorists such as ISIL, also China, Russia, Iran. North Korea has expanded a uranium enrichment facility, and oh, by the way, put something in orbit the other day, in a stable orbit, in case you're wondering. Clapper said that Pyongyang is committed to developing a long-range nuclear-armed missile capable of posing a direct threat to the United States. The nuclear deal reached last summer between the world powers and Iran, known as JCPOA, is likely to limit Iran's nuclear program as intended, but those benefits will be temporary, said Clapper. That's the ultimate in wishful thinking. neighbor. This is where you have to start paying attention. This is where you have to have your head on a swivel. This is where you have to start paying attention to what's going on around you. I consider myself a responsible broadcaster. And as such, I am very judicious about the kind of advice that I dispense on this broadcast. And I'm careful to report only the things that are necessary to report regarding these kinds of circumstances. It is a matter of time before we are exposed to a terror attack. You would be amazed at how small things can save many lives, including your own. Go to the FEMA website. There are courses there that can save your butt and the rest of your anatomy as well. There's a very good one on active shooter I can personally recommend. There are others. Go to the FEMA website, fema.gov, and look at the courseware that's there. Pay attention to the things that you think are going to be the most important. And learn that stuff as quickly as you can. If you haven't taken a first aid course, take a first aid course. If you are amenable to being a CHL holder, get that done. Then go find training. And work at it. But you've heard me say that before. Whatever it is that you can contribute, contribute. Because at some point, I think you might be able to have a chance to do that work. As much as I would hate to say it. Our government, for whatever reason, is seeing fit to release those enemies that we've already captured, to restock the upper management of Al-Qaeda and ISIL by letting these people out of their prison. All for political reasons. For whatever reason, the ideas and ideals of political correctness still hold a lot of sway in the United States, even though the San Bernardino attack proved beyond any kind of reasonable measure that political correctness is just plain damn dangerous. I took a lot of heat a while back for saying things like, these people are going to get us killed. One time I said that is when President Obama decided to shrink from the responsibilities that he undertook himself when he laid a red line in front of Bashar al-Assad for using chemical weapons. I said, this guy's going to get us killed. And the reason he's going to get us killed is because we're not going to think, for whatever reason, that there are people over there that watched President Obama abandon that responsibility and didn't say, hey, these people can be had. Why do you think ISIL's working on chemical weapons? The reason they're working on chemical weapons is because nobody stopped Bashar al-Assad. What we should have done is destroyed, and I said this on the air then, and I'll say it again. We should have destroyed every palace, every building, every vacation getaway, everything that Bashar al-Assad had, we should have targeted it and destroyed it in a matter of a couple of days. We might have even gotten lucky and killed the SOB. But we didn't do anything. And now ISIL's saying, hey, well, if they're not gonna do anything about it, let's jump into chemical weapons. Hey, a perfect terrorist weapon. Like I said, keep your head on a swivel. And when somebody like me says, hey, those stupid ideas about mass transit and so on and so forth, where you get a lot of people in a very small space, when I say they're stupid ideas and build more freeways so people can drive their cars, would you please listen to me before we have a subway train or a DART train that stops and disgorges 500 dead people? This is the Wells Report.
Are you a business owner who is jealous of some of the great commercials you hear right here on 660 AM The Answer? Do you feel a little left out when a clever commercial plays and you wish it was about you instead? Nothing's worse than hearing a catchy commercial from a competitor who is raking in new customers each day while you still aren't advertising on the radio. It's not too late. I can still help you. My name is Brad Ballard, and I work here at 660 AM The Answer. Call me today at 214-561-9116, and I can turn you into the company everyone wants to work with. That's 214-561-9116. It's much more affordable than you might think. Don't let another competitor pass you by. Call me today at 214-561-9116, and we'll get you on the radio right away. I'll meet with you personally to brainstorm the best message possible that will rise above the rest. It's time to grow your business and sound like one of the big boys. So don't wait. Call me at 214-561-9116.
Call 267-8433 because the next best thing to do is Dalworth Clean.
Hi, Cheryl here for Dalworth Clean. And you've been hearing the Dalworth jingle for almost 40 years. And when you hear it, you probably think carpet cleaning. But Dalworth offers so much more. Dalworth can clean and restore every type of flooring in your home, including natural stone floors like marble, travertine, and slate. The combination of traffic and soil take their toll over time, robbing your stone floor of its original luster and natural beauty. Dalworth can clean, polish, and seal natural stone floors and return them to a like-new appearance for a fraction of the cost of replacement. Whether you want a high gloss finish or a matte finish, we can create the look that's just right for you. This week, save $100 on stone polishing with any job of 200 square feet or more. So call Dalworth today and find out why it's really true. The next best thing to new is Dalworth Clean. Or visit us at dalworth.com where you can make your appointment 24/7.
Think you're fat? You might just be bloated. Find out by calling now for a free trial of New Biotics, the new breakthrough that flattens bloated bellies fast. For a free trial, call 1-800-700-6757.
I used to be plagued by pot belly and constant bloating. After taking New Biotics, my belly flattened and continues to get flatter. My sense of bloating and discomfort is gone.
If you've got a big belly, you might not be fat. You might just be bloated. New Biotics is scientifically formulated with natural ingredients to flatten bloated bellies fast by cleansing pounds of rotting food and toxic sludge from your body. It even combats periodic heartburn and acid reflux. So just think how much better you'll look and feel. Think you might be bloated? Call now for a free trial of New Biotics and see how much flatter it makes your belly. You might be surprised. But hurry, call now for details while these free trials last. 1-800-700-6757. That's 1-800-700-6757. 1-800-700-6757.
Pop quiz for all business owners. If you're not incorporated and someone sues your business, which one of these can you lose? Your home, your car, or your life savings? The answer? All three. Because if you're not incorporated, it's not just your business that can be sued, it's you too, which means you could lose everything. Once business owners realize the risk of not being incorporated, they usually scramble to incorporate or form an LLC. To make it quick and easy, Incorporate.com is now giving away a free incorporation guide to all business owners, so you can incorporate in just 10 minutes. For your free 10-minute incorporation guide, call now, 1-800-733-1035. Protect your financial future. At Incorporate.com, they don't provide legal or financial advice. They just make incorporating or forming an LLC quick and easy. Call now for your free 10-minute incorporation guide. 1-800-733-1035. Hurry while supplies last. 1-800-733-1035. That's 1-800-733-1035.
Attention DFW business owners. Whether you are self-employed or own a $100 million company, you need to watch a video right now at yourtaxblueprint.com. This video explains several strategies on how to legally reduce your taxes that most companies are just not taking advantage of. We have helped hundreds of business owners right here in the DFW area reduce their taxes by $10, $15, $20,000 or more dollars per year. You don't have to replace your CPA or accountant to use these tax lowering strategies. The video at yourtaxblueprint.com explains how these totally legal tax strategies work for you. We are so confident our tax deduction strategies will work, we guarantee to lower your taxes or you don't pay a dime for our services. It's your money. Don't pay more in taxes than you have to. Watch the video at yourtaxblueprint.com to see how we can put thousands back in your pocket. Go to yourtaxblueprint.com. That's yourtaxblueprint.com.
660 AM, The Answer. The Wells Report is on 660 AM, The Answer.
And so Donald Trump, with 87% of the precincts reporting, has 35% of the vote. Kasich, 16% of the vote. Cruz has inched back up to 12. Bush back down to 11%. Rubio is also at about 11%. So he's essentially tied with Jeb Bush. Chris Christie still at 8%, going back to New Jersey to think about his future. Carly Fiorina, no words from Carly, no words from Carson. But I expect that both of them are probably going to stick with it at least through South Carolina. They should. I don't know about Chris Christie. Chris Christie did a great job with his campaign. He didn't necessarily grab the kind of traction that I wish he could have. I am a little bit concerned about John Kasich, but not really concerned about John Kasich because, as Buddy Pilgrim pointed out so brilliantly today, John Kasich, Marco Rubio, and Jeb Bush will be splitting the mainstream vote, which leaves a very, very broad highway for one Ted Cruz to move forward. Same thing with Donald Trump. If Donald Trump wins a few more of these, it's over. But another incredible night in America, and thanks very much for letting me share it with you. The executive producer of the Wells Report is Vicki Steifer. Technical director, conductor of the Wells Report Orchestra is Magic Matt Swinney. My name is John David Wells. Have a wonderful night. We'll see you again tomorrow for another edition of the Wells Report.
Bill Bennett doesn't agree with the president's view of Islam.
Whoever wants to enter paradise, the Prophet Muhammad taught, let him treat people the way he would love to be treated.
The problem is that when people go around killing all these innocent people, they do this Allahu Akbar thing and praise Allah. That's the problem. And I did think that Islam did not mean peace. I thought it meant submission.
Bill Bennett's Morning in America. Weekday mornings at 5, right before the Mark Davis Show at 7 on 660 AM. The Answer.
Hey, it's Mark Davis from my friend Josh DeShong. The real estate world of Josh DeShong sells houses when others cannot. I am living proof. Lisa and I are so thrilled with Josh. He came in and sold our house with blinding speed. You want a promise. You want somebody who's going to sit down with you and say, I promise to sell your house. Most folks won't do this. Josh will. His website is getsold.net, and he is telling you your house will get sold. How does he do this? Well, you call him at the number I'm about to give you. He sits down with you and says, let's arrive at an agreed upon price and an agreed upon time frame. If that house of yours does not sell at that price in that time frame, he, Josh DeShong, simply buys your house. That's it. You're out. You're at closing. You move on. So call him and call him today. Don't waste a day. 972-325-6644. 972-325-6644. D Magazine Best Realtor 3 years in a row. I'll love him forever. Josh DeShong, getsold.net. 972-325-6644. Are
you a business owner who is jealous of some of the great commercials you hear right here on 660 AM The Answer? Do you feel a little left out when a clever commercial plays and you wish it was about you instead? Nothing's worse than hearing a catchy commercial from a competitor who is raking in new customers each day while you still aren't advertising on the radio. It's not too late. I can still help you. My name is Brad Ballard, and I work here at 660 AM The Answer. Call me today at 214-561-9116, and I can turn you into the company everyone wants to work with. That's 214-561-9116. It's much more affordable than you might think. Don't let another competitor pass you by. Call me today at 214-561-9116, and we'll get you on the radio right away. I'll meet with you personally to brainstorm the best message possible that will rise above the rest. It's time to grow your business and sound like one of the big boys. So don't wait. Call me at 214-561-9116.
This is 660 AM, The Answer. A service of Salem Media Group on the NASDAQ as SALM, KSKY, Balch Springs, Dallas, Fort Worth. 660 AM, The Answer.
Fox News Radio, I'm Carmen Roberts. New Hampshire feeling the burn.
What began last week in Iowa, what voters here in New Hampshire confirmed tonight, is nothing short of the beginning of a political revolution.
Democrat Bernie Sanders cashing in on voters' frustration with the system. The sentiment much the same on the right as Donald Trump appeals to voters as a political outsider. But John Kasich says his second-place win speaks volumes.
We are turning the page on a dark part of American politics because tonight the light overcame the darkness of negative campaigning. And you made it happen.
And a heat wave in California, Los Angeles topping out at a record 89 degrees for the day. Temperatures likely to continue through Wednesday. Fox News, we report, you decide.
660 AM, The Answer. Sean Hannity is feeling the burn.
I'm with them. I want Bernie to get the nomination. I'm all for it. So I'm going to be nice to Bernie.
Are you saying that you're feeling the burn?
I'm feeling the burn, baby, burn. Little disco inferno. I'm feeling it for Bernie. I think Bernie would be great just because it would be so entertaining to watch Hillary lose, but be careful what you wish for, Hannity.
The Sean Hannity Show, afternoons at 2, right before Michael Medved at 5 on 660 AM, The Answer.
Dennis Gibbs, the boat guy here, host of the Big Boat and Outdoor Show, sponsored by DallasBoatsForSale.com. Let me break it down for you. We talk about boats and boating, boat ramps, marinas, lakes and water levels, boat sales, sailboats, sailing, anchoring, sinking, grounding, buying, selling, and enjoying the fun out on the water. You picking up what I'm putting down? If it floats, we talk about it every Saturday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer.
Hey everybody, Mark Davis for my friends at Abacus Foundation Repair. I love birthdays and anniversaries, always a time to celebrate, and they are celebrating 15 years at